This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. It is Tuesday. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling great. Can't complain. Oh, a little hijinks. You're already into the hijinks. Starting off the morning with the hijinks, aren't you there, Sean? Kind of like Darren Rovell starting off the morning with the hijinks. I just got to tell you. You know, the reports came out. Inflation, and so things were slightly some things were slightly up, some things were slightly down, but it kind of affected the entire markets and they all went down. And so Bitcoin was one of the things that went down, right? It went down like $1,000. It was in the 22.7 range or something like that, and it went down into the 21s. I bought anyway. So I went down, and Darren Rovell tweets out, and it's just funny because, you know, I trip out with the people that like don't know shit about crypto, but yet they want to talk about it and all this kind of stuff. You can go to our Twitter feed. I went after his ass, and he's trying to defend himself with me, but he's got no shot at defending himself with me because I pretty much exposed him that he doesn't know shit about crypto. And so he put, no, Bitcoin was never a hedge against inflation. They have nothing to do with each other whatsoever because of this dip you're seeing here, right? And so I tweeted back to him that, you know, dude, Bitcoin is not supposed to be a hedge against anything right now. You know, clearly you know nothing about crypto. So you don't do anything by commenting on something you know nothing about. So he tells me, oh, I studied over 100 hours. And I go, well, you didn't learn a goddamn thing from it. Less than 5% of the world is in Bitcoin and crypto. How can it be a hedge against anything, dude? Do the math. Don't be an idiot. It's way too much in the infancy stage. Until mass adoption takes over, that's when Bitcoin will be the hedge against inflation. But we're not there yet. But it's all right. He's part of the microwave society. He, you know, wants to tweet out, what's it got, 69 likes now at this point. I get it. He wants the shock value of it. That's fine. You know, you want to shock yourself and you want to go shocking about Tua and all that. Just like Bitcoin, well, I'm going to go after you also. Okay? So, whatever. You want to do it for shock? That's fine. I have no problem, but don't comment on something you know nothing about, Darren Rovell. You clearly don't invest. And that's the problem, that a lot of you that talk about crypto, you don't even invest. The hell do you know? What do you read up on? Those of us that actually invest, we're not doing it for next month. We're not doing it for March of 2023. Those of us that are investing, we're looking down the line, 2024, 2025, 2026. Those are the windows down the line. It's just, it's just plain ignorance that goes on all the effing time with this. And if you don't know if you don't know about, look, dude, I'm not going to tell you about calculus. I'm not, there's a lot of subjects that I'm just going to say, I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm happy to say I have no idea. More than happy to say, my wife's a lot of times asked me about something. I go, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. I'm not this or that. She asked me, and I don't know. You asked me about sports. Ask me about crypto. Ask me about music. Ask me about the stuff that I know I follow and things like that. But I'm not going to get into certain things that I don't know about. You know what I mean? And so it's funny that you see that, like, and I'll show you. These are the things that people just, they don't know, they don't understand, but this is part of the process. And I'll show you. The UFC came out, today's the 12th, right? Or the third? No, today's the 13th. Yesterday the 12th came out, and VeChain now becomes the first official layer 1 blockchain partner of the UFC. So this was already in the works. Now it became official. But all of these things are taking place. They're not going to, see, there are myths in crypto, and I'll get into sports, but I just wanted to, because this Darren Rovell thing, the problem in our society is stupid people and misinformed people go out and talk facts about whatever, medicine, politics, life, crypto, football, quarterbacking, and then they don't know anything, and all they're doing is spewing more misinformation. See, Darren Rovell didn't study 100 hours of crypto. That's bullshit. He's just repeating what another idiot said, that Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. And it will be against the hedge against inflation, but it's not going to be a hedge against inflation right now when less than 5% of the world is involved. Do the math. It's pretty common sense. Oh, and notice when the DXY goes down, guess what happens to crypto? Woo! And Bitcoin. Guess what happened right now with the DXY? It's going up. So it's keeping crypto down at the moment. Why? Because it's not a hedge at the moment. So as long as the dollar's strong, and because dollars are so weak around the world, there's a reinvestment in our dollar. Darren Rovell doesn't know these things. He doesn't understand any of this stuff. He really doesn't follow this stuff. That's the problem. But whatever, man. I just, Ethereum, they're about to have their merge. Do you know people think that the coin is going to explode? I'll give you a prediction what may happen. There might be a little pump and then boom, right back down again. Do you know why? Because the Ethereum merge, by the time they can get to the point where they're actually building up their transactions, it won't be for another 2 years. Because this merge allows them to then make the updates to get to that point. But the clueless are like thinking that, oh my God, the merge, it's going to make Ethereum explode. And no, it's not. There might be a little bit of a fake pump. And then there's going to be, when new coins come out and things like that, there's always this fake pump. And then it comes right back down more often than not. Sometimes there's a rarity that some coins just continue to take off, or stocks or whatever. But usually, it's kind of a buy the news type of thing. And that's kind of what's going to end up happening. And I think with Ethereum, it's not going to really go anywhere at the moment. Why? Because until everything in the world is kind of settled in, you're not really going to get anything, stocks, crypto, anything to really go and take off. We've got to fix a lot of stuff. Chain supply, gas, we got a war, we got China getting shut down constantly. There's a lot of problems. So there's too many myths out there, and people don't understand crypto, like Darren Rovell. They don't understand Bitcoin. They don't understand Ethereum. They don't really know what it's all about. And then you just run your mouth. And that's the problem with all of that. You just can't do that when you really don't know what the hell is going on. Okay? Mass adoption when it happens, but it won't happen for a couple years, right? But everything is taking over slowly but surely. And here you go. Here's another one. Starbucks. This is my third biggest bag. They tapped in now. Starbucks is going to be on the Polygon network. Okay, I got Bitcoin, Ethereum. Polygon's my third biggest bag. I love Polygon. And Polygon is scaling 50 times faster than Ethereum. And that's where Ethereum wants to get to. But Polygon's been taking a lot of business there on the Ethereum blockchain because they can scale a lot faster and cheaper. So all these things, but people don't know that. But look at now, Starbucks. They've got like 15 million customers worldwide. I think it's like 11 of them in the United States. These people are all going to be exposed to the blockchain, because you will be too. You're going to be exposed to the blockchain because all of everything you're going to do, you're going to pay bills, you're going to buy tickets, you're going to exchange money, everything will be done on the blockchain like you're doing on the internet. It's just a more secure internet. It's coming, but it's not going to happen next week. And it won't happen in January of 23, and it's not going to happen in December of 23. And mass adoption maybe is more around 25, 26 by the time we get to the point that the world is where I'm at this moment. Okay, but it's going to take a while. And those of us that invested early and we understand patience, not happening overnight, you're going to have to sit on it for a while. All right. Take it easy. But people like Darren Rovell, there's a lot of you like Darren Rovell out there that you really don't invest. You really don't know about crypto. You really don't understand it. And yet, you comment on something that in a couple of years, most of you will go, oh man, I should have done it. And you'll regret it. And that's fine. And I know I'm not going to do it because I screwed up in the .com. And I could have taken advantage. I had opportunities in the .com era. And by the way, I had opportunities when first Bitcoin came out, and I was ignorant to it. And I got on it late, but still early enough to take advantage. But not like the people that did early on. Those people they're the bomb. They had the vision early on. It's not easy to stick to your guns when things aren't necessarily going the way you think they should go or as smooth. And then you've got the detractors and the people that don't know anything chirping and all that. But you can't listen to that kind of stuff. I have it akin to the Ryan Tannehill thing. I never believed in the kid from the get-go. And, when he had his pieces of success, and some of you out there would then reach out to, oh, you see what he's doing in Tennessee? I told you he's the real deal. The Dolphins screwed up. Stuck to my guns, and I said, he's just a part of the offense. He's not the reason why. He's not the straw that's stirring the drink. He's just a facilitator there on his best day. And sure enough, he's continued to be exposed. You stick to your guns. Don't let people who don't know anything try to talk you off. And there you go. So don't listen to the Darren Rovells who absolutely know nothing about crypto whatsoever and don't understand it and clearly don't invest. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Yeah, my morning was exciting. I had to wake up to ripping it because I have to do those things because if I don't do them, then people will listen to a guy like Rovell who doesn't know jack shit. And that's why I have to do it. So you have to call them out and expose them. Okay? That's all. Pretty simple. Not that difficult. Ah. And yesterday we went a little viral. Did you see the video we put out there, Sean? Going a little viral. We yesterday I'm watching the Seahawks game, right? And am I gonna get nailed if I put a highlight on here, Sean? Well, no sound, right? If we put no sound, maybe we'll be able to do it, right? So I tweeted this out, right? And yesterday Russell throws a touchdown, but he underthrows the touchdown, right? Watch this touchdown. He lobs it over. Oh, there you go. And Judy catches it. Judy had to stop, wait for the ball. He catches it right as the defender's on top of him and scores a touchdown. So I wanted to have a little fun with this. And I said, I put here, if Tua tosses that underthrown TD by Russell Wilson right now, Dolphin Twitter is on fire ripping Tua. So obviously this thing, what's the views up to now? 8,000. It's got 355 likes. So it's gone crazy, but it's so true. If Tua throws that same touchdown, that exact same touchdown, the receiver, whoever it is, gets all the credit, and Tua just gets absolutely ripped. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown for Russell Wilson. It's a touchdown for Tom Brady. It's a touchdown for Mac Jones. It's a touchdown for Derek Carr. But for Tua, oh my God, it's a terrible play. Tua's so lucky. This, that. It's just that rung right there. That was in my head the entire time. How the world that I'm in right now is so different than in almost every other quarterback in the country at the point. I don't have to they don't have to deal with this silliness that we deal with here all the effing time. Oh man. Too funny, man. Too funny. A touchdown's a touchdown, baby. Sometimes the receiver's got to make a play, and sometimes the quarterback's got to make a great throw, and a lot of times the offensive line better give them time. That's in the end, the five hogs up front never really get the love that they deserve, you know? So, and we thank Hijinks Sports Grill in Boca, by the way. You see their happy hour 4 to 7 p.m. daily. And by the way, when you reserve a table, they will give you a glass of champagne, 1 glass of champagne when you call to reserve a table there at hijinkssportsgrill.com. Joe Shad, this is Joe Shad's sponsor of the reports. And by the way, Joe will join us today at 12:15. He swears by their food, and a lot of their bartenders and waitresses are Dolphin cheerleaders. There's a lot of Dolphin cheerleaders at Hijinks Sports Grill. You may want to check out the social media at Hijinks. Just saying. Just saying. If you know the show, we are facilitators of fun. Speaking of fun, tonight, the Killers and Johnny Marr. Yeah! 2 nights in a row, I am going to be loving life. Tonight, I'll see a little Johnny Marr and the Killers. I like the Killers. I like them a lot. I've seen the Killers a few times, but I'll be completely honest. I bought the ticket mainly for Johnny Marr. Like, for me, the Killers are the icing on the cake. The meat of the matter is the legend Johnny Marr, okay? So if you've never seen Johnny Marr, he has terrific solo stuff, but he sings a lot of Smiths, and in his voice, it sounds very Morrissey-ish, shall I say, okay? And a lot of times he does There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. I hope he does it tonight. I don't know. You know what? I haven't checked his set list to see. And for those of you that don't know the trick, setlist.fm, you should save that. And you can put anybody that's touring, and you'll see the set list that they're playing on their tours. So let's see at Fort Worth. Yes, There Is a Light That Never Goes Out. Yeah, all right. He's going to do Panic from the Smiths. He's going to do Getting Away with It. I love it from Electronic. Yeah, because a lot of people don't even know that Johnny Marr was in Electronic. Electronic was a mix of New Order and Johnny Marr. So he was in there. So There Is a Light That Never Goes Out and How Soon Is Now. So they will play 3 Smith songs and 1 electronic song. I love it that he's gonna do Getting Away with It. That is fantastic. I've been getting away with it all my life. Yeah, I like it. Anyway, so I get to see the man Johnny Marr. And then tomorrow night, I'll be at the Amateur Theater in Fort Lauderdale at the Broward Center to go see Cy Kernan and the Fix. Can't wait. The new album is awesome. All right? Awesome. Lonely as a Lighthouse is a terrific song, man. I love that song from the new album. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really, really psyched. Okay. And for those of you that don't know, or you just started following the show, The Fix is one of my favorite bands of all time. It's Iron Maiden. It's U2. All right. The Fix and The Cure. Those are like my classic 4 bands that I just absolutely freaking love. And I would travel and do anything to go see them. So The Fix coming to town, I absolutely love. Cannot wait. And get to see Johnny Marr tonight. Wow, that is going to be so good. So good. A lot. You put Red Skies at Night, which obviously that's a song they always do. But the last time I saw them, and rest in peace, I lost my best friend, Bill Preston, on December 9th. The last time that I saw The Fix, I saw them there at the Amateur Theater, and they did Opinions, which is my favorite Fix song that nobody really knows the song Opinions. You've got to be like a super hardcore Fix fan, because that's like a deep cut that's inside the Reach the Beach album. And just an awesome. I've never heard that song, and I've seen The Fix, I don't know, 35, 40 times over the years. And when I had my heart issue that I had to put 5 stents in my heart, 2 in one valve, 2 in one artery, 3 in the other, I had tickets for 2 Fix concerts, and there was a free concert. I was going to see The Fix 3 times that week, and I almost had a heart attack. So it canceled that Fix go around for me, unfortunately. So yes, that's how fanatical I am, that I will see them multiple times when they come down at times. So Opinions is my favorite. Anyway, good morning. Hope you all are doing well. By the way, do want to remind you that as you gear up now for the fall, you need the right people on your team. I know that we do it here on our show. We try to find the right people on our team to help our small business, maybe help yours to fire on all cylinders. Well, LinkedIn Jobs is here to make it easy to find people you want to talk to faster and for free. Listen, whether I'm trying to find a producer, I'm trying to find sales, maybe somebody that's a social media expert, the SEO stuff. There's all kinds of stuff that I've got to deal with. Well, listen, folks, you can create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs so you can reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network with over 810 million people. Then you can add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile, so that way the word is out that you're hiring, so your network can help find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions, making it easy to focus on candidates, all the right skills and the experience so you can quickly prioritize who you want to interview and who you want to hire. This is why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires and leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs will help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. And did you know that every week, nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Big O. That's linkedin.com/Big O to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. All right. What else do we have going on in the world of sports here? What else? Big O Hijink Sports Bar. Never been there. Where is it at? It's in Boca. I have not seen Cobra Kai yet. I probably will start this weekend with the wife because we usually go binging. You know what I mean? So wait a minute. Hold on a second. Did it drop like the whole season, or is it just week to week? Help me out on that. What happened? Did they drop the whole season, or do I have to go week to week? I'm not sure. Help me out on that. I don't know. Scott Primus was first in, and Steve Chapman second. And Jamie Zorrilla in there. Brian Walters says, Big O, it's funny how old changes. We are now 28-1 to win the Super Bowl when we were like 60-1 before the season. How about that? Yep. Yeah, it's, the NFL is week to week. Dolphins lose this week to the Ravens, and the world is ending. Fire Mike McDaniel, bench Tua. Well, most of you already want to bench Tua as it is. Whatever it is, right? Chris Greer can't draft, and then you win the following week, and you know what? Chris Greer is great, and Mike McDaniel's fantastic, and it took 6 quarters to boo Mario Cristobal. It's like we got a group of Canes fans that think that Mario took over and he's ready, with a couple of commitments, a couple of transfers. He's ready to take over and take on Alabama and take on Ohio State and take on, Clemson, which is just so asinine. But that's this world. This is what we live in. We have the idiots like Darren Rovell thinking that Bitcoin's going to be a hedge against inflation right now. We have people that think really stupid things. I can't tell you. I can't help it, man. There's a lot of stupidity in this world. And there's a lot of craziness in this world. Do you guys see what's going on in some of these stadiums? I mean, Jesus Christ. Cowboy fans, let's go. Yeah, Cowboy fans. Chill out. I don't know. Going to games nowadays, it's like a great to go to a game nowadays. What the hell is going on, Raiders fans? This is great. Watch this, the girl. Watch this. This guy is an equal opportunity slammer. Boom. He knocked out the woman. She was out there trying to defend her man, and he goes and knocks her out too. Oh, you want some of this? Here we go, Falcons and Saints fans. This is fun. Welcome to the NFL. Welcome to NFL games. Holy moly. Wow. I think if I had to take my wife to a game, it has to be club seats. There's no way I would sit in the stands with my wife or my daughter. I would never, ever sit in the stands with any of the female ilk in my family. Would never, ever, ever do that. If I can't get club seats, then I won't go to the game. I'll just watch it on television. I mean, anyways, it's better to watch it on television. You see the game way better on television. I mean, you go to games now and either you get in fights or your car is lit in fire. I don't know which one it is, right? Light the car on fire, you get out and your car is charcoaled. Like, yo, what the hell's going on here? Or you got to deal with the fighting idiots. Dizzy says, I'd much rather watch the game at home. Yeah, no, I'm with you. And the NFL doesn't seem to want to stop it. Brian, the NFL is Teflon. Nothing can stop that league, man. But I'll tell you what, NFL stadiums are not safe. That's for sure. Yeah, you can't stop stupid, unfortunately. I'm with you there. Ask Darren Rovell. What else do we have here? Brooklyn Rob, still not as bad as the hooligans at English football matches. Yeah, but I'm not going to justify either. You're right. There's nothing worse than hooligans, English hooligans. But I get it. But still, I mean, the people in San Francisco aren't too, those Giants and those Dodger fans and all that. I mean, they put people in comas. I don't know. The West Coast they're very hooliganish. Okay? I'm just saying. I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it a word. The people out on the West Coast are pretty close to the English hooligans. Maybe even worse than them at times. I remember Ed Kaplan told me once he went to a game in South America where they threw a motorcycle from the second floor to the first. So you ask yourself, how did they get the motorcycle up to the second floor in the first place? Robert is in Naples. How is Bitcoin not a hedge at or at least an advantage over a bank when Bitcoin has had a yearly positive trend since it started? That guy's clueless. Yeah, it is stronger than anything that's out there. Okay, because in 13 years, it's worth $20,000. There's no stock that's had that climb. Nothing has ever had a climb like this. So that Robert, you're 1,000% right. But the hedge on inflation plan that's, that people talk about, that we're still a ways away from that. But that's because we need mass adoption for that to happen. When that happens, then you have the counter to the inflation. Then you have the counter to things when they go bad. And then Bitcoin can rise in those times. But we're not there yet, dude. We're not even close yet at this point. And that's what has to be understood. But people like Darren, they really don't understand. They just run their mouth and they say stuff that they don't really get. They don't really study it. They don't really. They notice how when his response is, no, I studied. He never said he invests because he can't. You know what I mean? Because I know he doesn't invest. I can tell. Let's see. Big O, know what's great for this company, Amazon, since they have the NFL now on Thursday night. So every sports bar or restaurant has to buy a membership. Smart move on them. Amazon stock is rising. Yeah, but they also know, dude, that platforms are the way that this is how you're going to watch television. You're not watching television through traditional TV and all that. That's dying. That is dying, dude. Because nobody wants to watch the kind of television that you have to sit there through 4 and 5 minute breaks. And they don't want to sit through all the commercial breaks on radio either. So why have you seen? We've been on for 32 minutes. I did a live spot. That's it. This is what people want. They want content. We have sponsors. Look, A. Lenny Locksmith. While I'm talking, we don't have to take a commercial break. You can find out about A. Lenny Locksmith all over from Miami to, Port St. Lucie, Tampa Bay, Orlando, Phoenix. I tell you all the time. There it is. There's a commercial. We don't have to take the break. We can continue to talk. And that's why Amazon knows that, and Apple, Amazon and Apple, you see how they turned it up? This is where we're at. So let's get programming in there so we can be it's like a Walmart. You want to become the internet Walmart. Oh, we can sell you this, we can sell you that. You can watch this. So you can stay on our platform doing all kinds of stuff on Amazon. And that's kind of the idea. That's what you want to do. Oh, I believe Apple is I believe Apple is going to add their own crypto wallet. That's coming too. And Amazon will have their own crypto wallet, and Amazon will have their own digital coin. It's all coming. It's all going to happen. Okay? We've been digital for years. That's what people don't understand. What do you think your credit cards and your checks are? We've been digital forever. It's just now a more secure form that's coming. That's what's coming. That's what people don't understand, but whatever. But Amazon gets it, and so does Apple. They know exactly what's going on. So that's why they're going to take advantage of it. And that's why they're going to keep adding all that programming. All right, let's switch gears here. Let's talk a little football. Cameron Wolf is ready to go with our KSDT CPA, Miami Dolphins and NFL report.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
There he is, Cameron Wolf, ready to go. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. How you feeling, Big O?
Good. You all right there? You were rubbing your head. You got a headache or something, bro?
Nah, man. I'm trying to get myself used to the heat again. I'm out here, just finished a run. The humidity got to me a lot on Sunday, so I'm trying to get myself back acclimated.
Well, let me tell you and Belichick that you just don't get ever used to this heat, okay?
Right. I've been here. I didn't come early. I've been here for 4 years, so I should be used to it, right? Belichick, he thought you can get acclimated in 4 days. I've been here 4 years. I'm still not acclimated.
You can't, bro. You don't get acclimated to this shit, dude. There's no way.
Right.
So I asked you this because this is what I thought of. So what happens last night on Dolphin Twitter if this is our boy Tua Tagovailoa, throwing this? He threw a underthrown ball that Judy had to wait for, collided with the defender.
Great play by Judy. It's a great play by Judy.
Great play by Judy, and it would have been great play by Waddle. What a terrible throw by Tua. You see, he's got no arm. He can't do it. That's all I thought of when I saw that highlight. I go, for Russell, that's a touchdown. For Mac Jones, that's a touchdown. For, anybody, Lamar Jackson this week, that's a touchdown. But for Tua, that's a shitty throw.
I think we talked about this before, but Tua gets as much criticism for something that I don't think is atypical of quarterbacks in this league than I normally see. And I think, some of it with Russell, right, is Russell has proven a lot of things. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Oh, I'm not comparing the quarterbacks. I'm not comparing.
So maybe people give him more grace on those throws than they would Tua, which I don't know if it's fair.
This happens in every game. Every game, quarterbacks underthrow, and almost in every game that you go to, a quarterback almost throws an interception, dude.
Right.
Almost in every game, dude. Please give me a break. They dropped one yesterday.
Right.
Yesterday, Russell should have thrown an interception yesterday, and they dropped it. Dude, this happens all the time in the NFL, but then when it happens to him, it just gets, glorified. Now, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think it's the narrative, right? So when you get a narrative on you, it's hard to shed that. And every time that something happens, they bring up that narrative as a reason to prove it right? So like for a while, Andy Reid had the narrative that he was a terrible end of game situational, like he couldn't handle the timeouts and all that thing.
Choker.
And he
Choker.
and so he got better and eventually won a Super Bowl, right? But even throughout the Super Bowl, I still remember them talking about Andy Reid's play calling, like, well, Andy Reid has trouble with these situational drills. And I'm like, this is something that, yes, it's his narrative, but he's evolved past that and he's shown that he can get back. So like for Tua, it's the same thing, the narrative. The narrative in the national media, and I'm the national media, but hopefully I don't portray that narrative, is that Tua has a noodle arm. Tua can't get the ball out here. So whenever there is an underthrown ball, if there's one underthrown ball by Tua, it's going to get more attention than 3 underthrown balls by Patrick Mahomes because he doesn't have that narrative. And so it's sort of the confirmation bias for these people with the narrative.
And how about this? What the hell is our problem in this world with good people? Because Russell Wilson was treated like dog shit yesterday, and I blame Seattle. And if you really look at it, I don't know, are Seahawks fans that stupid or something? Because I blame more Pete Carroll in the front office for what happened with Russell, the way you mismanaged it for years with the line, the running game, and then you don't want to pay him. And he's giving you a great career. Dude, 1 year he started a season where he had a knee injury, a high ankle sprain, and I think it might have been a toe or something. And the dude never missed a game. He played right through it. And so he gave you everything, and you treated him like crap when he got there, which you should have been celebrating his ass, all you Seahawks fans. Yeah. And there's this thing, and it goes with Tua. And it happens with Tebow, and it happens. I don't know. Do we have something that we like? We find good people corny. We find people that actually do the right things all the time, because since we're all so imperfect and we screw up all the damn time.
Right.
Well, live with it, bro. The Tebows and the Russell Wilsons and the Tua Tagovailoas, those guys rarely make mistakes. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
Live with it, dude. Live with it. I don't know what it is. You don't like nice people? You don't like good people? Why are we so quick to destroy people that don't deserve to be destroyed?
Now, that's an interesting question, right? Because I always think on the other end of it, we're all human. And so we try to identify with people who appear to be natural humans and mistake givers, because we're like, I made that mistake. I did this. I did that. Right. And so maybe it's a little bit of jealousy sometimes. You're like, man, this person is a better human sometimes than I am. Like, a lot of these people are better humans than I am. Like, and so hopefully I don't portray that. But yeah, I think it's natural. You see somebody that's doing things the right way, you either think, I
admire them.
They're faking it, or they're hiding something, when reality is sometimes people just live life the way it's supposed to be lived. And
Cal Ripken and Tony Gwynn were the same guy their entire career, bro. Live with it. That's who they are. There's just some of those people that know how to do things the right way every damn time. And I don't know why we're so quick to try to destroy them, bro. Tim Tebow never hyped himself up. It was everybody else. Tim Tebow was just a decent dude, building hospitals, circumcising kids, reviving people in a seizure. I don't know if did you ever see that that the kid having a seizure in a minor league base? Hey, all this guy ever does is good stuff.
Yeah.
And all I ever saw were people trying to destroy the dude. And it's like, I see the same thing with Russ. I see the same thing with Tua, and I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
So I think what it is, and I mentioned this on TV the other day, I think Tua is the most polarizing quarterback in the league. And I think the last quarterback is polarizing this Tua may have been Tebow. Like, and there's common threads in that, because like I said, I think that people, if you see so much goodness, quote unquote, they think it's fake. They think that you're faking something. They think that, Tebow said he's a virgin. There's no way. Or he's corny because of that. Or he's doing all these things that's corny.
Meanwhile, he's 85 years old, and Willie Mays carried himself the same way.
Right.
For 85 years. He's not phony. It's what
Yeah,
he is.
right. And so I think that's probably a big element of it. And I think what's interesting, for us as a society is that um, you kind of pick on people who don't speak up for themselves typically. Like Tua's got better at it this offseason, but
Yeah.
these are people who, naturally are quieter. They're guys who just try to go about their business. They don't bite back when they have, detractors, and they have profiles that are bigger than their personalities. Like Tebow's profile was bigger than Tua's profile, coming from the guy who came off the bench freshman year at Alabama and won a national championship, to a guy who had a whole documentary about him before he played a game. Like, his profile became bigger than what his personality is. And so when his personality and his early play didn't scream as loud as the profile that came with him, people criticized him for him. And like you said, I don't think that had anything to do with him as a person. And so he certainly has a lot to prove on the field. I think this year is going to be huge for
That's
him.
fine.
But I think that it's a lot extra on him that honestly I just don't understand. Like, for me for me personally, the reason why we talk about him so much is because he's so polarizing. But I think there's a lot worse quarterbacks, a lot better quarterbacks, at least at this point in the career, that he, to the fact that he's the most talked about quarterback in the league is just such a mind blowing element to me. Just given how young he is, how much left of potential and play that he needs to show on the field, it just seems like there's so much left for us to already make a conclusion on that this guy is the greatest gift to God's earth, or that he is a noodle arm quarterback who can't start in the league. Like, how are you already so locked in on one of those two things when we've seen him play 20, 21, 22 games?
Right. Yeah. No,
So, yeah.
it is baffling to me. All right. Last night, game's on the line, and
Yep.
you tweeted it out, and
Yeah.
I kind of just bluntly,
Yeah. Yeah. You put it out there.
translated
Yeah.
what you said.
Yeah.
So do we call Nathaniel Hackett? Do we just take the "et" out and we just call him a hack? Because
No,
seriously,
no. We
seriously,
don't do
dude.
that.
The,
But
the
but but I
only player, the only player on the field on both sides of the ball that is money, that has made play after play after play after play. His name is Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to live and die with Russell Wilson over everybody on both those teams last
Right.
night. How in the world are you going for a 64-yard field goal? How is that a better gamble than gambling with Russell Wilson? I don't get that one.
Oh,
I
I was
don't.
shocked, man. I was shocked. I
Oh
stood at
my
my TV, stared at my TV for about 30, 45 seconds when the commentators are like, he's bringing out the field goal. I'm like, bringing out the field goal? That wasn't even an option. Like, I didn't even think that was a possibility. And, I know that Denver team well. That's where I started my career. Brandon McManus is one of the best 5 kickers in football. I still would not have taken that kick if it was a 59-yard field goal.
no.
I think that, like you mentioned, you're paying $245 million over 5 years to Russell Wilson. He's one
And
of the
he's a
top
money
5
player.
paid quarter.
He's a
I talk
money player.
Exactly. He's won a Super Bowl. He comes up in big moments. I talked to people in the Broncos org this offseason who told me their franchise has now changed because they have that franchise quarterback again. They think that he'll have a Peyton Manning type impact on their team. But yet at 4th and 5, the first game of the season versus his old team, by the way, who, that's another element of it. Like, this dude wants to prove that, hey, I made the right call. And you send out the kicker, even if the dude makes the kick. It's like, dude, you want your quarterback. Everybody always talks about franchise quarterbacks here. Like, oh, well, you have to have one of these quarterbacks to compete with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. This is all true. The Broncos have one of those quarterbacks that could ideally compete with that. And they decided, nah, we'll put it in the hands of our kicker. Our kicker. Our kicker. To me, this is just the first game for Nathaniel Hackett. So I'm not gonna bury him and say that he's just gonna be a terrible coach. But this is not a great start to your head coaching career as an offensive-minded head coach. I can see a defensive-minded head coach. You play it safe. You're like, hey, I'm gonna trust my defense and my special teams. Those guys tend to always be conservative and defer. This guy's an offensive-minded head coach. He was brought here to resurrect their offense. and with the game on the line, he trusted his kicker over his quarterback. I don't think there's any way to put it other than that.
That is just he's a hack until proven otherwise. He's a hack because that was just an absolutely terrible call. All right, Kyle Fuller. Not that I'm rooting for any kind of injuries or anything like that, but I do like to see the Dolphins win. Well, the Dolphins have one less stud to deal with on defense because Kyle Fuller is a baller.
Yeah, that's a big injury. They lost 2 players for the season. Kyle Fuller and Jawan James, who's actually was their starting left tackle. Well, he's not a great player at this point, but he was their second left tackle for Ronnie Stanley. And so now they're going to their third left tackle. So he was certainly better than their third left tackle. And so
I know, but that guy never stays healthy. That guy never plays. He is so unreliable. It's ridiculously how unreliable that guy is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel a guy that you never can count on. It's crazy.
I'm more speaking to him as far as I know how often they blitzed Lamar last game, and I imagine they blitz him that much this game as well. You at least want to have somebody who's not going to be confused out there. And I'm sure whatever undrafted
Did you notice they didn't do a lot of that this week? They didn't do a lot of the zero blitz this week.
It's game plan specific. And so they felt like they could play coverage and send 4 or 5 and do well. And they did. But I imagine this week with Lamar, the way they couldn't handle it last year, they're going to go right back to the well. And so that's something. But Kyle Fuller's a huge injury. And another reason why people don't realize, Marlon Humphrey's their number 1 corner, right? So he's playing. But Marcus Peters is actually coming back from a serious knee injury. He did not play week 1. And so there's questions on maybe he makes a season debut this week. Maybe he doesn't. But if he does, he's going to be a guy who like Byron Jones, hasn't practiced much, hasn't played much all season. So he's going to be very rusty. And so you're already down one of your starting corners. Now you lose a Kyle Fuller. And so you're going to get a lot of number 4 type corners on Jalen Waddle probably. And we saw how Jalen Waddle started eating, towards the end of the second half. Mike McDaniel says after the game, we didn't get Jalen Waddle enough touches. Well, guess what they're going to do in this game? Get Jalen Waddle some touches. And you got Jalen Waddle going against whoever their 4th corner is. That's a matchup that I'm sure Tua and Tyreek and Jalen are loving. So I think that this obviously isn't good for the Ravens. They've had terrible injury luck, but it's good news for the Dolphins. And what I think is going to be a very tough matchup for them, because I think the Ravens were embarrassed on national TV last year. And so I'm sure all the talk that we had about them after the game, they're playing on their videotapes and replaying and practicing all week against the cover 0 blitz and saying, hey, we're not going to get embarrassed like that again. So they're going to come ready. Now, will it matter? Who knows? But I think they're going to try to come ready in a way they just were not last year.
All right. What do we know about Austin Jackson? Because I know they're still reevaluating it. So I don't know. I don't know if I took it like it's a little bit more serious than what we thought, because if they're trying to get a second opinion on it, then you might be a little bit more concerned about it. You know what I'm saying? So
I haven't heard anything. Yeah, I haven't heard anything definite, but it did give me indication that there's a chance that he missed games coming forward. It's an ankle injury. If he has just a typical low ankle sprain, then you're going to be able to tape that up and be good to go. It's not that. It's more significant than that. So offensive linemen, they can play through a lot. But in this offense in particular, you need your offensive lineman to move. You need them to be mobile. And so if you have a player that can stand there but can't move, then maybe he's not as effective. And so that, like he said, he can come back in emergency. I think he could come back in emergency and stand there, maybe do a shuffle or 2, but he couldn't move much laterally. And so
what'd you think of Greg Little? What'd you think of Greg Little?
I didn't notice Greg Little, which is a good thing. Right? And so I didn't notice him a ton. I didn't notice him good or bad a ton, but I think for offensive linemen, if I'm not noticing you, that means that you're not being exposed. You're not being the main liability on the line. Now, I will say at that point in the game, they were up 20-7. And so there was a lot more trying to run the ball, a lot more, they're not taking as many shots down the field. So he didn't have a lot of true pressures. But this is, that was a question for us all camp. Who's going to be a swing tackle? They felt like Greg Little won the battle. And so if he has to start at right tackle this week, you're going to see if it was the right choice. I thought they should have been a little bit more active in trying to find another, 6th offensive lineman. But just like they said they were good at cornerback. And we saw Cater Kahu, and we saw Keon Crossan, and they look so far, although they were playing the shell of the Patriots. We're going to see coming forward when they play, Ravens, Bills, Bengals. But so far, they were right about that. Maybe they are right about Greg Little. But that is one that I think is going to be a matchup to watch against a aggressive Ravens defense if Austin Jackson can't go.
What are you working on at the NFL Network? You working the Dolphins-Ravens game?
Yeah, I'll be at Dolphins-Ravens game on Saturday, or Sunday. So I'm heading into Baltimore Saturday, and so I will be there, give you guys a lot of live reports there. I am doing some TV today from home, so I'll be talking some Dolphins-Ravens with Brian Baldy on there. So check us out on NFL Network.
He loves him some Mike McDaniel.
He does. I'm sure he's going to be pumped. I got to bring my energy when I'm talking with Baldy because Baldy gets pumped up. He's probably going to talk some D-line, some good trench play. And
well, talk to him about that. There wasn't a lot of misdirection used this past week against New England. If you noticed in the running game, I didn't see some of the stuff he showcased against Philly. Didn't really see that much against New England. So I'm wondering, does he save it more for a team like Baltimore this week? I don't know.
Yeah. So Mike McDaniel is very game plan specific. So that's sort of his MO. And if you felt like, hey, this is a team and Bill Belichick that may be prepping for a lot of that stuff, hey, they're going to be looking for the misdirection. They're going to be looking for all this stuff. Maybe you say, hey, we're just going to go a little bit more simple. They did move Tyreek Hill a lot in pre-snap motion, but that was probably the extent. Other than I think there was like a reverse play they ran to Waddle in the fourth quarter. That was the only kind of sort of, other than the pre-snap movement, different kind of trickery that I saw. So I'm sure he has a bunch of tricks in his bag. So maybe it's this week against the Ravens. Maybe it's next week against Buffalo. But I'm sure we'll see it this week. He probably just felt like,
about
this
Buffalo.
week. Yeah, this week he probably felt like what he had as his base was good enough. So, but I'm sure coming up, a lot of tough challenges. We'll see it a lot more.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf and catch his work there at the NFL Network covering the Dolphins and the NFL. Cam, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up later on in the week.
All right, appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. There you go, Cameron Wolf. And when we tell you about KSDT, man, they can help you. It's not just about your taxes. Of course, they can take care of your personal taxes, your business taxes, but they do all kinds of stuff like forensic accounting and business valuation, from collateral audits to fraud, embezzlements of funds, loss of earnings claims. They can help you in so many areas. Management advisory services, from forecasts, projections, and budgets. Healthcare advisory. They've got so many different ways that they can help you there. Property management, wealth management, valuation, and of course, domestic and international tax. That's why you want to call the folks at KSDT CPAs. They can help you and your business grow and personally take advantage of the laws so you can have more money in your pocket and you can invest also down the line. 305-670-3370. That's 305-670-3370. Offices in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. KSDT CPA.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All right, we're back. Thank you all as always. We thank Cam Wolf. Dr. Francisco Cedral will join us in hour number 2. Manny Navarro will stop by also at 11:30. We will have Joe Shad at 12:15. So we've got a bunch of guests still coming to join us here on the program. Seahawks last night defeated the Broncos 17-16. We lose that one. We told you to go Broncos minus 6.5 in our A. Lenny Locksmith lockdown. Let's get to our lockdown segment. Let's tell you what direction we're going to go in today.
Time to lock it down. The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Services in South Florida from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, ALennyLocksmith.com locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Here's the Big O to tell you what needs to be locked down.
All right. We love the folks at A. Lenny Locksmith, locations from Miami all the way up to Port St. Lucie. They can take care of you. Also, our friends go out to Tampa and Orlando and in Phoenix. So you get locked out of your home, locked out of your car. You call ALennyLocksmith.com. They can also reprogram your keys. Yesterday we lost. We told you to lay the points. They easily would have won. I mean, come on, dude. The running back's got to hang on to the football, bro. Come on. You're about to punch it in. I mean, really, they could have won this game by the points, but that's gambling. That's the way it goes. And unfortunately, we fell. So we fell to 32-24-2 during this streak. Defense wasn't. I told you one thing about what Russell Wilson's getting himself into. His defense isn't special like it has been in the past. It's solid, but I don't think it's special. And I think he's going to have to be a lot more of a superstar in bailing them out. Geno Smith, got to give him credit. Geno Smith is a very mentally tough young man because when you have the setbacks that he's had throughout his career and bounced around all kinds of teams, it's really easy to lose confidence in yourself or maybe never even believe that you're going to be a number one and just keep working for a number two. And the young man's always stayed ready. He played, what was it last year? I think it was a game where I was really impressed with him. And yesterday, considering it's Geno Smith, he did a good job, dude. Overall, good for him, man. He looks like a really good young man. But Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, your fumbles, man, are just brutal. And Russell getting booed, that is just crazy stuff. Anyway, so in our liquor split matchup of the night, Philadelphia and the Marlins are starting a set. Bailey Falter will be on the mound for the Phillies, and Sandy Alcantara will be on the mound for the Marlins. He's 12-7 with a 2.43 ERA. Miami is favored by a 1.5. The over and under is 7. Philadelphia plus 110, Miami minus 130. The Marlins, I know they had a 10-6 win yesterday against the Texans, and then they had a 3-2 loss. But overall, I just can't buy the offense. I just can't buy the Sandy support. The poor guy just doesn't get it. I'm going to go Philly plus 1.5 here in this one. Hell, they may even win this thing because if Sandy doesn't pitch a complete game shutout, that's about the only way they're going to win. At one point or another, that bullpen will come out and probably give it up. So I'm going to go Phillies plus 1.5 runs in our A. Lenny Locksmith lockdown segment.
The Lockdown is brought to you by ALennyLocksmith.com. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming. All model cars. 24-hour service. Call them anywhere in South Florida at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at ALennyLocksmith.com where we lock it down.
All righty. That is hour number 1 of the program. Hour number 2 begins, and Dr. Francisco Cedral will get us going in hour number 2 from redrecover.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Welcome to Red Light Therapy, a revolutionary technology perfected by NASA to aid in muscle strengthening and recovery. Red and infrared light has the capacity to penetrate deep into the cell's mitochondria, potentially leading to increased energy, faster recovery, and the optimal performance your body demands. Train, fight, recover.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Of the program, and one of the things that we talk a lot about on this show is redrecover.com, and Dr. Francisco Cedral is kind enough to join us once a month to kind of help you guys out, because I've shown you guys my hat that I'm using for red light therapy to actually grow my hair. My wife, she just had surgery about 2 weeks ago, and she has some incisions from the surgery, and so there are some scars. And last month with Dr. Cedral, we showed you how someone who also had surgery with a scar, how they used the red light therapy to help that scar disappear and get that clean, healing. Well, right now my wife is actually using that red light therapy on her scar so it can, heal the proper way. The advantages of red light therapy, there are so many things. We talk about it with pain. We've talked about it with growing hair. We've talked about it with scars. And now with Dr. Cedral. Good morning, Dr. Cedral. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you. Good morning. Glad to be here. How are you doing?
Very good. Very good. And for those of you that don't know, Dr. Cedral joins us every month. He's got a master's and a PhD in neuroscience and a postdoctorate in health science. He also specializes in therapies and neurobiologies of pain and inflammation, and also has several clinical studies published internationally on light, energy, and therapy. And one of the things that you see in some of the things that we talk about with redrecover.com is you see Hayden Hurst, the tight end for the Bengals, a former first-round pick. He uses it to optimize his workouts. So we've talked a lot about the scars. We've talked about growing your hair back. We've talked about also your pain and operations and injuries, that it can help you with all of that. Now, Dr. Cedral, we're all weekend warriors, right? A lot of us like to go power walking, running. We like to go to the gym. Maybe we're just cutting the grass, and that becomes a workout for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, seriously. I mean, cleaning out the garage becomes, therapy for us. It's kind of work, lifting and moving and all that. And so soreness always sets in. And when you're going to work out, you're going to get sore with all of that. So let's talk a little bit how the red light therapy can help you optimize all of these workouts before and after.
Correct. Yeah, you can actually use them in both cases. You can use that before. And if you remember, we already talked about increasing blood circulation. And so that's going to help prepare the muscles for the activity. And a lot of people do ask me, does red light therapy impact athletic performance? It absolutely does. Remember that we talked about that red light and red and infrared light is very well known to stimulate mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell that produces ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. This molecule is the molecule, it's an organic compound, that is the one that provides energy to drive all the processes in the living cells, including muscle contraction. So that's, and so in layman's term, you could say that red and infrared light directly increases cellular energy. If you have better cellular energy, the cells are going to work better. If these cells happen to be in the muscle, then your muscles are going to work better. And what is interesting is that muscle cells, as you can imagine, they have a high demand for energy, right? Because they're there to do activities, and so they have a high demand for energy. Because of that, they have a large number of mitochondria, and so low level light therapy increases production of energy through the mitochondria. Muscle cells have a lot of mitochondria, so that means it's going to work a lot better. Red light therapy has particularly beneficial effects on muscle cells to increase overall muscle energy and then increase muscle performance. And it doesn't matter what type of activity like what you said, could be activities of daily living, thing that you do on a daily basis, it's going to increase.
My wife, before she goes walking, she has one for her knees. And so what she does is while she's in the house, she wears the wrap on each of her knees for 15 minutes while she's doing stuff around the house, and then she goes walking. And then when she comes back from walking, she then puts it right back on again because she's got some chronic issues with her knees a little bit. And this alleviates it all because it helps the blood flow going. I mean, Sean, our producer, has basically bone on his knee from jumping out of planes when he was in the Marines. And so even red light therapy helps him alleviate that pain for a while by getting the blood flow going. And for my wife, it's kind of the same thing. She's got little arthritic issues in her knees. And so it helps her, get that blood flow going. And then that way she feels a lot better. So if you're going to go play some pickleball with your buddy or your friend or whatever, you're going to go walking or tennis or so, and you want to outperform them a little bit, and they're going to go, wow, you're moving a little better. You could use a little red light therapy to get the edge there before the workout and after the workout. I'm just saying, right,
100%, 100%. Like, remember, red light therapy, apart from increasing overall muscle performance, it also reduces inflammation, reduces oxidative stress. So it's beneficial for athletic performance. Because that way it reduces fatigue and accelerate recovery. So you do that before your practice and after your practice. There is actually some very interesting studies out there that are comparing a training program with red light and red and infrared light and without, and then they're looking at muscle gain. And believe it or not, in the studies, it's very, very clear that red light therapy can actually promote the gain of muscle mass if you use it in conjunction with your practice. It's not going to grow your muscles if you don't do any exercising, right? So, but if you do the exercise and you use the red light therapy, it increases the gain. Why? Increases, and triggers the release of nitric oxide, increases blood flow, brings oxygen and muscle and nutrients to the muscles, and then the whole muscular system is going to work more effectively. Increasing overall performance and reducing inflammation, reducing oxidative stress, reducing.
It's like you're cleaning up. It's almost like you're cleaning up the clutter, right? It's almost like a rotor-rooter away, all right?
and what is interesting is that your body already does all those things. Those are all natural processes.
It's just re-energizing it, right? It revitalizes you.
Yeah. Remember, it gives the cells more energy to do what? To do what they're supposed to be doing anyways. Right. So it's just to make everything work more efficiently. In some for sports, you could say increase cellular energy, decrease inflammation, oxidative stress, promote muscle mass gain, reduce fatigue, accelerate recovery, and increase blood circulation with more oxygen and more nutrients, which overall increases athletic performance. So,
I'll tell you this, for anybody out there, if you're having some knee issues, and try go to redrecover.com, use our code Big O, you will get 10% off. And I promise you, try it, because my wife does it all the time. And you try this and you do it before your walk, your workout, whatever it is, and then you do it after, you're really going to feel it the next morning, because you're not going to feel it. That's the thing. You'll feel less the next day, because and all those of us that as we get older, you all know how it lingers and it's even bigger the next day and all that. So the red light therapy helps so much, because the next day is when you're going to go, wow, I feel so much better than I normally do. and you're not as creaky getting out of bed, and you're not as stiff getting out of bed because you have revitalized all the stuff going on in your shoulder, your elbow, your knee, wherever it is that you're working on those issues. The red light therapy really, really helps out. And I think that's the, that's the one thing that we're now finding out, and we're explaining to people how red light therapy helps in so many different aspects of the human body. It's just crazy, from growing hair to healing scars to helping relieve pain and discomfort and all that. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It really is.
And again, the reason why is very simple. It's stimulating the production of cellular energy and its functions. So whatever type of cell and whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing, this is going to be better. We talk a lot about like older people like us. Oh, we have our pains and aches. But nowadays, imagine the strenuous activities that these young athletes have to go through with all the proliferation of travel sports and the high school athletes. It's crazy, their routine. So if you think about this, optimizing their recovery, increasing their performance, and obviously also getting them back to athletic competition if they have any tissue injury or anything like that. I mean, this is very important for them as well.
Yeah, you don't have to live with full soreness and discomfort. You can actually alleviate it. So go to redrecover.com, use our code Big O. You will get 10% off. Dr. Sidral, as always, incredibly informative. Thank you so much for joining us every month to really give us an education on red light therapy. And obviously your work is pioneering, and we really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Doc. Have a fantastic.
That's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir. There you go, Dr. Francisco Sidral. Once again, go to the website, redrecover.com. Check out the video blogs. Read the other blogs that they've got there. Hayden Hurst, the NFL tight end, he's got a video blog there. He explains it. Red light therapy can help you in so many ways. And make sure, don't forget, save 10%. Use our code Big O, and you will get 10% off. Go to redrecover.com. All right. Good stuff. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Oh, tonight, Columbus and Inter Miami. Wow. You going to be watching, Sean? I'm not. I'm going to be at the concert tonight, so I'll have it recorded. I will not be watching. You'll be watching, Sean? Yeah, a yay or a nay on that. Have you given up on the Inter season? I'm hoping they win, bro. I'm hoping, like I see on my phone, that they won, and that when I get home from the concert, I got to watch it just to see.
I watched 0.0% of games this year.
Really? You haven't watched any games? Wow. Yeah, I'm a sick bastard. I've watched them all.
I followed them. Highlights, but I don't watch the game.
I get it. No, I get it, man. I haven't been in an entertaining team as much. They've been better than last year. I'll tell you that. I like some of these young guys, but wow. And the injuries, man. I know they're just getting Campana back, but man, I wish they could have had a better season. It looked like they were right there on the brink, and then they just absolutely lost it. What a shame. By the way, Columbus is plus 200 in this game. Inter Miami is plus 130 hosting Columbus. So we will find out. Under 1.5 goal is minus 210. Over 1.5 goals is plus 160. Yeah, I would probably go over, but it's plus 160. But I'm sure it'll be over when it's all said and done. We'll see. What a shame, man. All right, 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, that's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, folks, because that is a 24-hour talk show. Do want to remind you, Sloman's Home Shield is a proud sponsor of our program. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Use the company that protects our home and protects Sean's home. 1-800-ALARM-ME, folks. And right now, we're going to give away a free doorbell camera to the first 40 Big O listeners. So if you call right now, you tell them, hey, I want that free doorbell camera, they will give it to you. Tell them I'm listening to the Big O. and it connects directly to your smartphone. I love it. That keypad is so easy to use. It's amazing. Even a big dummy like me can use that keypad. That means any of you can use that keypad. That's for damn sure. And when you also call Sloman's and you use our professional installation, our low-cost central station monitoring, you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery, folks. That's what it's all about. So the first 40 Big O listeners right now, 1-800-ALARM-ME, and you will get that free doorbell camera from Sloman's Home Shield. 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right. Big O, does Dallas call Greer, or does Greer call Dallas for the options out there? There aren't many. Do you know Chris Greer? What do you think? He doesn't call anybody. He waits for them to call him. They called him to trade Tyreek. So, they called him twice for Mike Gesicki. I think he likes dealing from a position of strength a lot of times. They kept calling him for Laramie Tunsil. See what I mean? So you don't want to call because then you lose leverage. You wait for Dallas to call you, and that way they are desperate, and now you have leverage. We like Laramie Tunsil. I'm sorry, Bill O'Brien. We really like him. We like your little dimple there on your chin. It's really cute. All right. I'll give you a first and a second. Tunsil's, we love him, man. He's a fantastic player. He's Bill, he's a franchise tackle. It's hard to get those guys, but hey, I appreciate your interest. Thank you. Next day, ring. Hey, listen, we'll offer you 2 first-rounders in a second. How about that? Tunsil's just an anchor, man. He's just one of those guys we look, he's really one of our best players, Bill. All right. We'll take Kenny Stills also. So you want Dallas to call you because that's when desperation has set in and you know that they need the quarterback badly. You don't call Dallas. You say, oh, hey, how you doing, Steven, right? Because it's Steven. It's not Jerry that's going to call you. Yeah, no, man, I heard about your quarterback position. Man, I'm sorry to hear about that. You know how it is in this league. It's so tough to keep your quarterbacks healthy. Really, really apologize about that. Well, hey, I'm calling because I know you've got Teddy Bridgewater there. Steven, we're really happy with Teddy, man. He's a leader in this locker room. He helps the guys out. He's so knowledgeable. You know Teddy, right? Steven, he's incredibly intelligent. And he's got a really good grasp of the locker room. He's got a great relationship with Tua. And so we're kind of using him as a guy that's mentoring Tua and teaching him a lot about the game, So he's a really important cog to what we're doing. Well, I understand that, Chris. I get it. That makes all the sense. I wish we were in that position. But we're not. And unfortunately, we lost Dak. So what's it going to take to make a move for Teddy? I'm going to have to think about that, Steven. Because I'm going to have to go and talk to my head coach and see what he thinks about it, talk to my offensive coordinator and the quarterback's coach, make sure where Tua's at, because I don't know if we can do this deal right now. I think we really need Teddy right now. We think we've got a pretty good football team that can make a run for the playoffs. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I totally understand. Let's touch base tomorrow morning and see what you got. Ring. Talk to my guys. I got to tell you, Steven, right now we really need Teddy. And, that 5th rounder is just not something that's really going to do anything for us this year. And to be quite honest, it's a 5th rounder for next year. It's really difficult to kind of land guys at that area. As it's really tough. So, maybe we'll hold off for now. And you play the game. And then you hope the phone rings a couple days later or a day later, and it's a 4th and it's a 3rd, and you wait. That's how the game is played. And you got to give it time. Yes, sir.
Hey, did you hear the news this morning from Jerry Jones?
No. What did he say?
They're not putting Dak on the IR. They expect him back in 4 weeks.
Now they expect him back in 4 weeks?
That's what they reported this morning. They're like, a lot of people were like, "Oof, this doesn't seem right," but they feel like they're going to kind of rush him back, I guess, is the story.
Rush back an injury-prone player.
Yeah, it's very odd. And plus, that team doesn't look. I mean, yeah, they might win the East, but they're not doing anything in the playoffs.
Philadelphia is better than them.
Yeah, but I mean, you know how that NFC East goes. They're always.
No, I get it. It's a terrible division.
Yeah, it's open, but I mean, there's no reason to rush him back. Sit him out, put him on IR, and I mean, it's a Jerry Jones move. That's exactly. I mean, it's the reason they cut all their quarterbacks, right? And they kept one, and then they upped them. The day of the game, they moved up Cooper Rush just the day of the game from the practice squad. They elevated him just for the game.
Because you had to pay all these people over the last few years. It comes to roost, bro. You just can't keep everybody. And then it catches up to you. And that's what's happened now to them. And they weren't able to keep their depth on their offensive line. That's why we've got Connor and at wide receiver. And so they are starting to, get exposed even more. That's it. And that Zeke contract was a terrible contract. All these running back contracts, they ended up becoming disasters, dude. All of them. Every single one. Cowboys are a joke. Complete freaking joke. Big O, I keep on seeing Jimmy Johnson years game. So what ifs? The team was incredible. Just needed to handle better offensively. Have Marino do his thing. Big O, when you're doing Sports Girl, we're not doing Sports Girl anymore. We're trying to find a new home for the pre and post game show for both the Dolphins and the Canes. So we will hopefully find a new home soon, man. Hopefully we'll find a new home. And thank you to everybody that watched the pre and post game shows. Man, our downloads, audio and video combined, are like in the 30,000 range. So thank you very much, man. Just absolutely amazing. So we will find a home because there's a lot of ears and eyes following our pre and post game shows. So hopefully we will get that home. We will see. What is the linking people have to thinking QB play against each other? They do not. Yeah, no, of course not. Let Tua be all he can be. What do we got here? Let Tua be all he can be, which may be really good. Miami has not given him an ounce of support until this year. Let's see now what he is and becomes. He may succeed or he may not, but merits a chance. Yeah, he'll be fine. I'm not worried about it now. Now they'll get things going in the right way. And once they fix the offensive line and the running game, that whole offense will take off. The guy did well this week. Wasn't great, but he did well this week, considering there was no running game. And at times he was pressured. So he did fine. I'm not, he's got to get a couple of those brain fart moments out of him. But outside of that, he was fine. I'm not worried. Tua is not the thing I'm worried about. You got to fix the offensive line more than anything else. So Lenny says, in my humble opinion, Tua has what it takes to win us a Super Bowl. Drew Brees was pretty pedestrian his first couple of years. Actually, he was way worse than Tua. And the light came on, and he became a great QB. Let's give Tua a chance. Exactly. He was way worse than Tua. Way worse than Tua. Dallas is so desperate that they need to put so much pressure on themselves to make the playoffs this year. That's what it looks like. That's why they'll rush Dak back. And maybe that's why they're not trading for anybody. Cap and all that other stuff becomes a problem. And then you got to trade picks, and everybody knows you're desperate. So you've got to overpay for whatever you do trade. Yeah, that's got to be tough. But the injury I got to tell you, it's. And then you've got people saying, go sign Cam or Kaepernick. Some people are just stupid, bro. I don't care if you're a former player, a former great, a former whatever. You're an idiot if you keep talking Colin Kaepernick. I mean, I saw this former player. I forgot who the hell it was on TMZ. The guy hasn't played football in 5 years, dude. He hasn't been part of a real NFL offense. How stupid can you be to think that he's going to make the transition immediately? Like, how dumb are you? Really? Are you that freaking ignorant? Even if you played the game, you can be that stupid to say something like that? And Cam Newton can't hit the side of the ocean, dude. Why the hell would you want Cam Newton? Why don't you just call Jay Cutler, too, while you're at it? Call that disaster. Better yet, call Ryan Fitzpatrick. Because we had people down here thinking they could actually win with the guy. That's when you know your fan base kind of hurts in the IQ department. When they're marveling and thinking they can actually win with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Something that nobody ever does. That's the stupid stuff that comes out. And people come out with the stupid opinions. Colin Kaepernick and Cam Newton. Kind of more. At least with Cam, he's played football. You know, with Kaepernick, I mean, there's some of you out there, you know, you get, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's fantasy. I don't know what the hell, lack of reality. Like when they worked him out in the summer and people thought they were going to sign him. And it's like, how stupid can you be? Clearly, the people in the NFL aren't that stupid, but you are. Yeah. All right. Let's change gears. Let's talk a little Miami Hurricanes. They've got to get ready for Texas A&M. Texas A&M, mighty butt sore from getting run over by Appalachian State. Boy, Boone went crazy. I don't know. Did you guys see the video of the kids running up and down in Boone, right in the middle of the town? That was a trip. That was a trip. That was pretty cool. All right, let's do it. Manny Navarro is ready to go with our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right, let's rock and roll, baby. Let's do it. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
Feeling good. Getting ready to get on that airplane on Thursday, head out to Houston, and have a little fun, hopefully, before the game Saturday night.
Where it's in Lubbock, right? Where
no,
is it?
College Station, which is about an hour and a half northwest of Houston.
Oh, so the city is literally called College Station?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. I thought it was just the area called College Station. I didn't know that the city itself is called College Station. All right. You learn something every day. Have you ever been to a game there? Because that for me is a bucket list game. You have, huh? It looks like a cool thing, right?
Yeah, never been there. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I mean, anytime you go to a stadium, we got over 100,000 people. yelling and screaming. I mean, it's going to be quite the atmosphere on Saturday, and they're going to be desperate, man. So I think it's going to be a fun atmosphere.
Are you going to go to the bonfire?
No, I will not be going there Friday night.
You know about it?
Yeah, I know they have all kinds of festivities.
So they have
pregame.
They have this one ritual bonfire that they do before the game, before every game. And so I'm just saying it might be a pretty cool event to go to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, you're probably filming them, I don't know, hanging ibises or something, or lighting them on fire or something. That in itself will go viral right there.
It's true.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Anyway, so you look at did Appalachian State just put more pressure on the Canes?
Oh,
yeah, right. I mean, because a game that I didn't think was winnable, to be quite honest, all of a sudden now I'm thinking it's winnable, and that just becomes that much more dangerous for Mario Cristobal and his team.
Yeah, this was not the ideal scenario, because now if Miami goes out there and takes care of business, which I think they will, I think they're going to end up winning this game, especially after hearing some of the issues A&M has on offense.
Quarterback. No.
I mean, if they don't win, it's going to be one of those deals where, oh man, you can't beat a team Appalachian State just beat. And meanwhile, if you do win, well, Appalachian State beat them. So it's really a no-win scenario for Miami in this. College game day was supposed to be there, got switched out of going to that game, ended up going to a Sun Belt game after what the Sun Belt Conference did this past weekend. So, not a good deal for the Hurricanes. But hey, you know what? Go out and take care of business. I mean, in the end, it's just that's all that matters, is that you win and you win these kind of games, and it'll help you on the recruiting trail.
Did you see the highlights of the town of Boone? How
Yes.
the kids were meeting each other and all that, and they were running. That was actually cool. That was pretty fun.
Real college town, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. So this is what I'm going to tell you. They've got quarterback issues. All right, but Manny, the Canes secondary makes everybody look like Joe Montana against the Cincinnati Bengals or whatever, winning drives and all that. So what do you answer to that, Manny? Because not only answer the question that the Canes secondary for the last couple of years makes every quarterback look like a superstar. Part two to that question: why does DJ Ivey still start for the Miami Hurricanes? Does he have naked pictures of somebody?
Listen, man, every team has a DJ Ivey, right? Everybody has a player that you sit there and you say, how is it that they're still starting? I think there's, Corey Flagg is kind of in that same category for Miami, right? At linebacker. You know why? Because they go to practice. They take care of business. They impress the coaches in practice. And then what happens is the coaches are like, I got to play him. He does.
All right, so let's just start Sam Agwavon.
Hey, I get it. Oh, I understand. But here's the reality. Malik Curtis, right? The guy that everybody was talking about in practice. Oh, you got to put Malik Curtis out there. He's the fastest cornerback. He's been phenomenal. He had an interception in the scrimmage. What happened? They put him out there for 4 plays. He got burned on back-to-back passes and gave up a 33-yard touchdown.
He's terrible.
So what does that tell you? You can look one way in practice, and you go out in the game, and in the end, the coaches have to trust who they trust. And look, DJ Ivey, if he makes that catch on the interception, maybe people are feeling a little bit differently about him right now.
But if I had wheels, I'd be a bicycle. If my grandmother had balls, she'd be my grandfather.
Hey, here's what
if game only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes.
I think the bottom line is nobody else has seized the opportunity. Look, if you're a good player, Mario Cristobal is going to want to play you. He's not going to hold you back.
DJ Ivey is shitty, but everybody else is shittier. So he starts.
I listen. Cornerback has been the one position that I thought for sure. I thought we were going to see Isaiah Dunson. I thought we were going to see Takori Couch starting on the outside. They haven't done that yet. Now maybe they're saving that for this weekend. Maybe they're saving some of this stuff. For
Couch had his issues too, by the way. He did make a play towards the end of the game, at least. I'll give him credit. But
Corey he's not a good tackler. Okay, number one. He was among the league, the leaders on the team last year in missed tackles. But cover-wise, staying on top of the guy that he's supposed to cover, he's better at that than I think anybody else on the Miami roster. Now, the question is he going to get called for pass interference? He's had a bunch of those calls against him here in his 3 years at Miami. So I think, again, recruiting, brother. Got to recruit.
How about Al Blades?
Not fast enough.
Jr., his depth perception, he's got a problem there. He's waiting for a football that's landing 4 feet in front of him. I swear to you, if he has like a shade on his helmet, objects seem to appear a lot farther than they look there, Al.
I listen, again,
holy
like,
moly.
That's why, like, everybody sits here and just says, oh, well, the coaching's going to come in and make a difference. It's like, oh, no. How much of this is just the players?
Yes.
Just the players, just who they are.
Yes. That's why I tweeted out on Saturday, you don't just arrive and in one off season, you're competing with Ohio State and Alabama and Clemson. You better have some patience. I know Canes fans don't want to hear patience after the last 20 years have just sucked. But there's no way Cristobal is going to make this team a contender, a really good team or whatever. They don't have the talent yet. They just don't, bro. And that's secondary. I can't have any confidence that they can go to College Station or a bus station or a Greyhound station and stop anybody from passing the ball, to be quite honest. Okay.
It's gonna happen. You're gonna give up yardage. I will say this. All right, I'm not gonna sit here and just crap on them. They're better tackling. They're better tackling than they were last year. Only 5 missed tackles in this game last week. They had 10 in the opener. So through the first 2 games, not nearly as horrific as it was last year, where you were just
Amen.
Okay. So at the very least, they're fitting the runs better. Okay. Southern Miss was supposed to come in here with Frank Gore, and that was going to be their whole attack. They came in, unleashed a true freshman and a 6'3" receiver and gave you stuff that you weren't expecting really to see. And for a half, they didn't look good. But the second half, they made the adjustments. And I think that's the difference with this coaching staff is last year there were times Miami would go to the locker room and they wouldn't get better after the first half. Now I think Saturday was sort of a prime example of, okay, you made the adjustments. You ran the ball down their throats like you needed to do in the first half. You stuffed the run and you came after the quarterback and started putting pressure on him. So to me, so far, do I think they're in a better state than they were a year ago? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. No, listen, dude, I like the coaching staff. I just know Mario does not have the players yet. And so we have way too many fans that are just unrealistic, bro. And they're expecting
that's been the case for a long time, bro.
I had a friend of mine that after the Dolphins won, he goes to me, well, I guess we're still second to Buffalo. And I'm like, did you expect them to be better than Buffalo this year? They're supposed to be second to Buffalo, dude. Yep. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? And it's just because the performance against the Patriots, oh, that's not good. We have fans that think that the Canes can go win the ACC and go to the playoffs before this season started. And it's like, no, dude, no, they stop it. He did not inherit a super team. This isn't Dennis Erickson taking over for Jimmy Johnson.
No,
this isn't Larry Coker taking over for Butch Davis, bro. Okay, they're not taking over loaded teams, and people don't look. I had Darren Rovell today, and I had to rip him an ass. He's like, well, I guess Bitcoin isn't a hedge against inflation because the unrealistic expectations are there. When I told him when less than 5% of the world is involved in crypto, how can it be a hedge against anything, you idiot? It won't happen for a couple of years for Bitcoin until it is a hedge against inflation and everything else. But we need mass adoption. And this is consistent, the problem that there is in this society in all levels. It's just there's this microwave thing that we want to just put it in, and in 4 seconds, it's ready to go. And whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's college football in the UM, or is it the Dolphins or whatever, you have people that are following whatever it is, and unrealistically, they think things are going to change like that because you make that change.
Everything is instant.
Sorry, bro. The same Michael Jackson. It ain't going to happen, bro. Ain't making that change right away.
Well, I mean, listen, people can feel that way. You and I know better. We've lived on this earth a long time. We know everything takes time. It's a process to get there. Mario is going to take them to better places. in the future. Whether or not that happens this year, whether they're ready for it right now, remains to be seen. I will say this. I haven't been impressed by a whole lot of other teams in the ACC so far. The only team that's really impressed me in the ACC when I look at it is Duke, because I didn't think they would turn it around that quickly, where they win their first 2 games, go on the road, beat a Big Ten team like Northwestern after how horrible they were last year. But North Carolina's defense is bad, consistently bad. It's been 3 weeks in a row now we've seen that.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech doesn't have much in the way of offense. They're winning with defense. They're one-dimensional.
That program's done. That program's
Virginia went out on the road and got killed. You saw how bad their offensive line was. It finally came to fruition. So, yeah, I mean, they have enough talent to win this division. But are they ready to beat Clemson? I don't think so. DJ Uyunglele looked a whole lot better this past week, throwing the football on post patterns and whatnot. And I think patience has to be something that everybody keeps in the back of their mind. This is not going to be an overnight thing. You're not going to make the college football playoff this year with this team. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be a slip up somewhere. There's going to be a day. And I got news for everybody. The receivers, look, they've only had 1 drop so far in their first 2 games. They're not creating a ton of separation. I mean, I know maybe they're running a vanilla offense, but
this is the worst core. This is the worst secondary and wide receiving core they've ever had. Okay,
and eventually teams are going to stuff the box against them, and unless Will Mallory gets out of the witness protection program, they're going to be in trouble offensively in some of these games. So,
again, I just made a statement. Please name me another season where you've seen a worse receiving core and cornerbacks. They doesn't exist. That's what Mario inherited. So stop it, people. Stop it already. You can't inherit a team that has the worst skill positions you've had on defense and on offense on the outside ever, and then expect to win. I'm sorry, dude. And we can name 50 excellent wide receivers for the Canes in the last 25 years, and guys that are way better than anything you have. Hell, even Charleston Rambo isn't nearly as a player like Andre Johnson or Santana Moss or Michael Irvin or whatever. And
he's not in the same league as those guys.
Better than everything you have here right now.
Yeah, Xavier Restrepo is a solid slot receiver, but he should be your number 3 option.
3 or 4. And the wide receiving cores that we've seen in the past for the Canes, he would be a number 3 or a number 4 at best on most wide receiving cores. Okay.
And I will say, I do think that if they play this run style where they're physical and you see guys like Inez Cooper out there as an extra tight end blocking, 355-pound tight end,
right?
And you see Zion Nelson, you see that those 6 offensive linemen out there, and you're playing that power football. I do think you can win the division that way, but you got to play turnover free, and your defense has to be really good on run defense. So I think they can win the division with this team. Anything more than that to me is a bonus.
When you talked about that big ass tight end, did you watch the game yesterday?
The Dolphins?
No, the Seahawks.
The Monday night game?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I was busy writing last night, working on stuff, but I saw the final.
Working. What is it with you and work? What is it with
I saw the final score.
Articles while you're sleeping and all that. I don't know if you guys know this. He has like this thing coming out of his mind, and something it just types, whatever he's thinking, and then when he wakes up in the morning, there's like 3 articles. So this is Manny Navarro. So anyway, I am watching the game yesterday, and I don't know how many. Did you ever see the movie Wildcats?
Yes, long time ago, but yes.
Yeah, it's the sport of kings, better than diamond rings, football. So this guy Woods is coming off the field, and I swear it reminded me of Finch.
Just like him.
Right? Right?
Yes. 100%. Wow.
And they both had 99.
Yep.
It was beautiful. I saw him running off the field. He made a play. I mean, this is a large human being.
He is a lot of muscle there.
And not for nothing, dude. I thought of Finch right away from Wildcats. Like, that's it.
Great comparison, bro. You nailed it.
Yeah. I was like,
Well, Inez Cooper is a good player, and I remember Mario at the end of last recruiting season back in January, February, when they were trying to get that kid, out of the middle of Alabama. They're like, "Oh, you got to see this kid. He's 350 something pounds, 370 pounds, and just moves like he just loved the way." I mean, I saw these videos of this kid, jumping up off the ground, running, hurdling something, coming back on the ground, doing a push-up, getting back up. And I'm like, man, if he's moving that much weight like that, wait till Mario gets a hold of him and they put a body on him. And so that's what you've seen so far. And it's going to come in handy all season.
That's a big boy. Injury-wise, how did they come out of that game going into this game?
Well, that's going to be the interesting thing, right? We didn't hear about Akeem Mesidor until a couple of hours before kickoff, so you never know. Look, I Mario's teams at Oregon always had mysterious midweek practice injuries. So at any point, we're not allowed out there. They didn't let us go out there today. It was closed to the media. Nobody was allowed to watch anything. Not even
stretching.
Not even stretching today. So
wow, they're really hiding shit from you guys.
He really does not want us to write where Zion Nelson is lining up and whether or not he'll be left tackle or right tackle, or if Jalen Knighton's in there at all getting reps. The big news is those three guys: Jalen Knighton, Akeem Mesidor, Zion Nelson. Mario said yesterday that those guys are all supposed to be back at full speed. I don't think they were practicing at full speed last week.
The way Henry Parrish is playing, the Rooster can take all his time he wants, dude.
Yes.
I
agree.
Gets the guy, he gets Zion back. That's cool, all that. But I'm not really that worried about Jalen Knighton the way
right.
Parrish is playing. Parrish is playing like a dude that is happy he got out of, what was it, Mississippi, right? Was it, right?
Ole Miss, yep.
Yeah, he got out of Ole Miss. He's going, damn, I'm back in South Florida. Now I got a shot. I'm going to keep this job.
I will say, he played at Texas A&M last year, so he's used to that audience. And I think he ran for close to 60 yards in that game for Ole Miss. And so at least you have one guy who's experienced that atmosphere. And he's going to be
the way he's playing.
Yeah,
he plays hungry. He plays hard.
Right.
He runs hard. He runs with desperation. He runs angry. I like what I'm seeing from him, man. Really,
yeah.
I like it.
And he's not that big. And you look at what Appalachian State did, in that victory where they ran the ball over 50 times in that game. The ball control, just they had their big back, 6'2".
Well, they have a nice back. Yeah, they have a nice.
They had
big
some big.
back.
So I think you need Jalen Knighton to provide a little bit of the shimmy shake, a little bit of the missed tackles. But he's dealing with the soft tissue thing that he's had since like the first scrimmage. So we'll see if he's really 100% or he's just kind of out there as a decoy or to take a couple of carries away from Henry Parrish and give him a break.
Do you think they're using the running backs enough as receivers out of the backfield?
Not yet. I think they're saving that for this week.
Okay.
I think that and the tight ends, I would say Elijah Royal, for instance, 1 catch for 5 yards. I think you'll see a lot of H-back. Arroyo's basically an H-back. They have Mallory in the tight end type role, but I could see a lot of play action, quick release. And the one thing about Texas A&M is their defense is legit, and that's going to be the challenge for Miami. Is can you wear them out the way that Appalachian State did, and then when you do throw, do you hit them where it hurts? Again, we talked about the separation of the receivers. I don't know if they need to beat them downfield. Appalachian State managed to beat them, with a lot of dinks and dunks and short passes and just stuff off of play action where they created separation.
By the way, remember, go to caneswear.com. If you order over $99, you will get free shipping, and they ship right away. I mean, Brett and everybody out there, Jeff, they work so hard. So you'll be amazed when you order how quickly you will receive everything. And if you got time, get on down to 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Go check out the store. They're enlarging it again. I mean, I listen. One day he'll have the whole goddamn shopping center. Seriously, that's what's going to end up happening. He'll knock down Dunkin' Donuts and every other place, and it'll be just one big ass store because Brett can't find enough spots to put something with the UM logo on it. Okay, that's the amazing thing. You need a toilet, they got one with a UM logo on it. You need a door, they got a UM logo on it. You need a car, they got a UM logo on it. They got everything, okay? They'll put a tattoo on your ass with a UM logo on it, okay?
That's the only thing missing.
Go down to Caneswear, I'm telling you, okay? And they've got Inter Miami gear, Dolphins gear, Heat gear, Marlins gear. So they've got it all there, man. Panthers gear. So check it out there for you. 2511 South University Drive. All right. Manny, what's the prediction, bro? What happens this week? Can Miami go there and win with the worst wide receiving core and the worst secondary they've ever had in their lives?
Yeah, I know Appalachian State pulled off the win, and maybe confidence from some Miami fans is a little extra high. Hey, they're going to go in there and kill these guys. I still think it's going to be a knock them down, drag it out type of battle. I said 27-20 on my podcast last night. Miami wins. I think anywhere between 7 and 3 points, they get the job done. But I think the quarterback issues for Texas A&M are real. I think the defense is going to play well. But I wouldn't be surprised if A&M scored on a special team score, defensive score, or some sort of mistake that Miami makes. They are at home. It will be loud. It will be a tough place to play. But I think this is going to end up being a good win for Mario and this program on the road. They're gonna learn from it. Mario went on the road last year, pulled off an upset at Ohio State, so he knows what it takes. He's had his team preparing with those speakers blaring for weeks. They've been communicating through hand signals and whatnot. So it's not like, hey, guess what? This week we got to prepare for Texas A&M. Let's bring out the hand signals. Now they've been doing this for a while now, bro. So they're prepared for this.
All right, let's hope it happens. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Subscribe to The Athletic. Next week, Manny starts a new show on the platform next Tuesday night, 7 to 8. Yes. It is the State of Florida Gridiron Roundtable with Manny Navarro from The Athletic, Ira Schofel from warchant.com, and Mr. Brockaway, Kevin Brockaway from the Gainesville Sun. He sent me an article he wrote for like the Miami News back in the day.
Yeah, man. You got a lot of veterans. This is a very veteran roster that you got that you've put together, bro. But I love it.
Oh, we put a platform of people that actually cover the damn team. They know what the hell they're doing. Professionals, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not going to get a whole bunch of guys that are, sitting in their basements with, pens in their pockets going, hey, well, what do you think's going to happen today? No, we're not doing that. No, we're going to get professionals that are in the locker rooms, talking to the coaches, talking to the teams, agents, you name it, whatever, they're involved. That's the only way to do it, my brother. You know,
first class.
No doubt. No doubt. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you as always. We will catch up later in the week.
All right, take care, brother.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro. That's our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CFs, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
All right. Don't forget, folks, if you want to bet like a champ, you got to go to BetUS. That's what it's all about. That's where I go. And guess what? 28 years now. They've been going strong. BetUS.com. And they also offer the industry's biggest sign-up bonus, up to 200%. BetUS has all your favorite leagues, including the NFL, NBA, and MLB. BetUS also offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, and all kinds of crazy bets. And yes, you're going to love all those props. Always good. BetUS also has hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots with live dealers, and they are waiting for you at the table. So get on out there to BetUS. BetUS is a sports book with integrity and longevity. 28 years, man. So you know you're going to get paid. Your money is safe. Don't go to these websites from offshore. You don't know where the hell they're at, and you can trust them or nothing. Don't do that. Go to the places that you can trust. People that support our show, BetUS. Right now, go to BetUS, join, and get 200% in bonus with promo code BIG OW! Nobody in the industry gets you better discounts than BetUS. Again, join now and mention Big O, and you can get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody beats that, folks. Head to BetUS.com and join today. That's BetUS, where the games begin. All right. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. 1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. I saw somebody there. True Fin Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat there. Let me bring it up here. I don't know if that was the first and only one, or have I missed any? He says Belichick is 17-18 in his career without Brady. By the way, I saw a stat. He is 2-7 in the 9 seasons without Brady. He's made the playoffs twice. 2-7 in 9 seasons without Brady. How about that? And he'll probably miss out again. And somebody was writing about that Miami hasn't won in Baltimore and all. This is a different Miami team. This is a different Baltimore team. They're no longer the team that can line up and manhandle you and run the ball down your throat. Okay? They're not that team anymore. They're not that good. I don't care what they did to the Jets this week. The Jets are so terrible. It's not even they don't even have close to the roster that the Dolphins have. They're not going to be able to pass the ball that way. Guys aren't going to be open by 5 or 8 yards against the Dolphins because the Dolphins have a much better secondary. They have a much better front 7 overall. They're going to get after this guy. Okay, so I think the Dolphins are going to actually win in Baltimore. I've said this throughout the offseason, have I not? Did I not say I was not worried about New England? Were you worried? It was never a concern. They will zero blitz Lamar Jackson's ass like they did last year, and they will frustrate the crap out of him once again. Okay? And they will win this game, and they will be 2-0. And like I told you, worst case scenario is 2-2 in the first 4 games. But the key is trying to split between Cincinnati and the Bills. And you know you're probably not going to win the Bills game. But the Cincinnati game, you can win that game. It is possible. That offensive line, I watched the game yesterday. That offensive line for the Bengals is not fixed at all. They sacked his ass left and right. And last time I checked, we got a guy named X, so he can cover their top receiver. Then the rest of the guys, okay, that's going to be a mission because they got 2 other guys that are really, really good receivers. They have the best receiving core in the NFL. It's going to be a pain. Joe Mixon is the guy that, man, that is one badass mofo. Okay? That guy can play. That's the key. You know, even when they didn't have a line last year, that guy still rushed for 1,300 yards and like 12 touchdowns. That guy's a badass. When you got no line and you still are a dominant runner, man, that is awesome. Sometimes you just got to, tip your hat to some people out there. True Fin Fan, again, we ain't losing to Cincinnati 3-1 after 4, baby. Well, that was my prediction. I said 3-1. I wasn't worried about these first 2 games. I think the Dolphins are better than the Ravens and better than the Patriots, and I think they would win these 2 games. And if you're 2-2, most of us will be pretty calm, like, okay, it's not great, but damn, it's pretty solid. 2-2 in the first 4 games, tough 4 games. But I think they got a shot at going 3-1. Now you got to take care of business this week, and they will. They will. They're going to get after this guy again, and he does not know how to solve that. And he didn't run as much this week. I hope he tries that shit this week. Now, I hope he tries that. Because the Dolphins are going to make him look silly. Let's see. Xavier Howard cannot cover Jamar Chase. Sorry, I like X, but Chase is too much for X. I don't think there's a receiver that's too much for X, but that's fine. Whatever. Rashard Bateman and Mark Andrews, that's who Miami needs to take away. Yep. Yeah, I'm not that worried about their receiving core at all. Lenny says, I'm a little concerned that the cover 0 may not catch Lamar Jackson off guard this time around, and he may have a great game. Why are you concerned? What made Lamar Jackson a great passer? I forgot about that. What happened in the offseason that all of a sudden he can read the zero cover blitz. I don't know. You tell me. I disagree with you, my brother. Lamar Jackson can take advantage of really bad teams and teams he can run on. But once you know how to defend that run and you can slow down that pass, he's done. He's cooked. And people are figuring that out. The only thing is you have to have the personnel to do it. Miami has the personnel to do it. So I disagree with you. What else do we have? Yeah, Jackson still can't read a defense and can't hit the broadside of a barn. Yeah, his accuracy is not something that I think was fixed or anything like that. But hey, that's fine. It's all good in the hood. I see Essential Moving Experts there, my man Sean Williams. He's got to be pumped. He's up in Daytona. By the way, if you're thinking of moving your home, moving your business within the city, within the county, from state to state, across the nation, Essential Moving Experts, 844-368-5750. Over 1,600 happy customers. And it doesn't matter. Sean Williams, you see it there. He's a huge Dolphins fan. So the business is in Dolphins colors. Mention our name, Big O, and you will get $150 off. Doesn't matter where you're at in the country. Long moving services, home moving services, long distance moving services, office relocation. They got it all. And let me tell you, if you're moving from one place to another and you need to store your goods for a week or two because you're waiting for the place to get, at Essential Moving Experts, they will store your goods up to a month on the house. I mean, the service is second to none. They are incredible people. You've met Sean Williams on the show. We got to bring him on again to talk. After this week, after they beat Baltimore, we'll bring Sean on to talk a little Dolphins. Moving was never so easy, folks. And they're great sponsors of our program. Please sponsor the great people that sponsor us. 844-368-5750. That's 844-368-5750 for Essential Moving Experts, man. Go check them out. Great people. Big O, are you concerned with the right side of the line? No, I'm concerned with the line, period, my brother. I mean, even Teron Armstead got banged up right away already in the first game. Like, he didn't waste any time in getting a little banged up like that's his MO. You know what I'm saying? So the line in the running game have always been a concern for me. And that's what they have to fix. The only way you're going to get Mike McDaniel's true offense is by running the ball. And the only way you're going to get Tua at his best is by blocking and running the ball. You can't put Tua in a position where he has to carry the team and take hits and all that kind of stuff. That's not who he is. Sorry. You're going to have a running game. You're going to have to complement his game with the run. Even when you had a great passer that you had no running game, you still didn't win it all with Dan Marino. You got to get a running game going. That's the only way you're going to really have a chance to win a Super Bowl, to get to the point that we all want to see it. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Dolphins off today. Ethan Carter is in concussion protocol. Austin Jackson dealing with the right ankle. Doesn't look like he'll play this week. I got to say, it looks like Greg Little's show, because when the coach said that they're going to have like somebody else, other eyes look at it, that kind of tells me it's a little. When it's not that serious, they'll tell you, oh, no, he could have been back. Like the Armstead, oh, he could have been back. Oh, this guy could have come back. Or they'll tell you right away. They didn't say that with Jackson. So I'm a little concerned with that one, to be quite honest. And then the bad news for the Ravens and the great news for the Dolphins, Kyle Fuller, their outstanding cornerback, is out for the year, torn ACL. They also lost Jawan James, but Jawan James ain't shit to me. I mean, Jawan James has been a sack of injuries his entire career, dude. He never plays. He's played like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in the last few years. Hell, he not only is he unreliable because his body breaks down, He even told the team during COVID, yeah, no, I'm taking this year off. Like, really, dude? God, life is so good, some of you. I worked right through the damn pandemic, man. I was out everywhere. I had 3 to 4 live remotes in the middle of the pandemic. I wore my mask, washed my hands constantly, kept my distance. Yeah. I'm not going to stop living my life and trying to produce money for my family, dude. You know what I'm saying? This whole, I don't know how just people can just turn it off and then just hang out and not work and not produce money. And God bless some of you out there, man. God bless you. You are so fortunate, man. The rest of us, I got to work, man. I got to produce. Damn. Speaking of production, I tripped out yesterday. I don't watch the show, but I heard it's kind of funny that it's about a Philadelphia school, and I heard it's a pretty good show. And I saw on I didn't see the award show or anything. I didn't see the Emmys, but I saw that Sheryl Lee Ralph won the Emmy. And I always remembered Sheryl Lee Ralph in that show that she was working with a whole bunch of other waitresses and the guy that was a piano guy at the top of the hotel, whatever. I forgot the name of that show. But then I remember Sheryl Lee Ralph from my days of going to Backstreets and Casanovas and 1235 and the real me, comes alive. I could feel it, all that. So I remember her from those days, High Energy. That's the one that I remember, and then to watch her, become an actress and then do the comedy stuff. And then now this, and Sheryl Lee gets an Emmy. That's pretty cool. Congratulations to Sheryl Lee Ralph. So it's pretty cool when you see a talent evolve, right? I saw her at the clubs. I saw Sheryl Lee Ralph sing a couple times, actually. Might have been, I think it might have been once at Casanova's and once at Backstreets. I'm pretty sure I saw Sheryl Lee Ralph in those places. And, then you see her. I forgot the name. Does anybody remember what was the name of that comedy? It's a Living? Was it what it was called? It's a Living? Okay. That was a good show, actually. That was a funny show. Anyway, congratulations to Sheryl Lee Ralph. I saw that yesterday on social medias. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. That is a 24-hour talk show. Whoa. Shams is reporting the NBA has suspended Suns owner Robert Sarver for 1 year from the Suns and the Mercury organization based on league investigation. Sarver has been fined $10 million and complete training program focused on respect and appropriate workplace. Why not just force him to sell the team and kick him out? I mean, Robert Sarver has always been known as a lowlife. Like, he's one of those terrible owners that everybody knows is a bad dude. And why not try to just force his ass out? There must be some legal issue that they can't or something. That sucks. Now, the 10 million is nothing. 6193. That's nothing, bro. It's nothing for those kind of people. That's, you know what? That's like you and me, 1,000. Like, it'll hurt, but you'll overcome it. A couple months later, you'll forget about it. A year later, whatever. That's it. At the moment, it was a small little speed bump that hurt you for, your bills for a month or two, and then you overcame it, something like that. That's nothing for these guys. 10 million for a Robert Sarver. The money's not the issue. Even the program he has to go to. Here's my point in all of this. Do you think Robert Sarver is going to change? So when you took that speeding class, after you got busted for speeding, you never sped again? Of course not. No. I mean, you paid the speeding ticket. You went to the classes for 4 hours. You complained that you had to go to class for 3 days or that you had to do the online thing for 2 or 3 hours. You complained about it, and you complained so much that you never sped again. Or you complained so much that you probably forgot about it by the next week, and you were already, again, back to 5, 10, 15 miles over the speed limit at times. Right. So whatever Robert Sarver has to go on, yeah, all of a sudden he's going to become a decent human being. All of a sudden he's going to treat people the right way. Come on, man. How stupid are we? I get it. We do have a lot of stupid people in this world, but Jesus. Let's see. Josie Cotton is touring. Yeah, baby. But she's not coming to South Florida. Only San Diego, Los Angeles, Palmdale, Reno, San Francisco. She's always doing West Coast stuff. Never comes over here. Most of you have no idea who I'm talking about. Just funny. She has funny songs or trippy songs from the 80s. Matthew Lean. Eileen, you lean. We all lean on Eileen. Let's see. Hey, Big O. Was at the game Sunday. The stadium was electric. Feeling good about this season. What are your expectations for a tough road game this week? My expectations are a win, my brother. And thank you, Matthew. I appreciate you for giving us some love there on the super chat. Very nice of you. But I expect a win. I think they're going to zero blitz his ass. And I think he's going to be stifled like he was the last time. And I think Miami will be in control. And the fact that they lost one of their top corners will help out because you're going up against the fastest or the second fastest or the third fastest wide receiving core in the NFL. I don't know which one it is, but it's one of the three. So I like Miami's chances here. And I think they'll do a good job overall of shutting the run down and making sure that they cannot get the run going. And I think that's what Lamar tried to show this past week. I get it. He was playing a terrible team that can't really put pressure, and their secondary isn't that good, and you can burn them and all that. But you're not going to have that luxury this week. So I like the Dolphins. I've liked the Dolphins from the get-go for these two games. I have not flinched. I have not changed my mind. I've told you from the get-go, worst case scenario, they're going to be 2-2 in the first 4 games. But I'm the guy saying they're going to be 3-1, and I think they'll win that Bengals game. And let me tell you, after watching the Bengals this week, there's no doubt in my mind the Dolphins have a shot against the Bengals. There's no doubt in my mind. I watched them. They're not a good football team. Yeah, I love Joe Burrow. Guy's got balls the size of – there's no stadium in the NFL where Joe Burrow's balls fit. Okay? The guy's a player and a half. But he takes a pounding. He takes hits. He will hold on to the ball because he's trying to make plays. And this pass rush from the Dolphins will have a shot at getting at Joe Burrow and affecting his game. I watched it. I watched that whole game yesterday with the Bengals and the Steelers. Okay? And the Steelers, it's not like they have anything great on offense. Their offense doesn't scare anybody right now with that quarterback position. And they won that game. And the Bengals could not protect. And because of all the pressure, it forced Joe into some turnovers. So Miami has a shot at going 3-1 in the first 4 games. There's no doubt. They could go 1-3. They can be 2-2. I doubt they're going to go 4-0 because I just don't see them beating the Bills yet. They're not at the Bills, but they can definitely win this week, and they can definitely beat the Bengals. There's no doubt in my mind in these first 4 games. And everything I've seen from Mike McDaniel is his teams are constantly prepared for practices, for scrimmages against teams, a preseason game, and they were prepared this week against the Patriots. Outstanding. When I watched what happened yesterday with Nathaniel Hackett, and we'll take the et out and we'll just call him a hack. And I see that first-year coach, and then I see this first-year coach, way more impressed with Mike McDaniel than Nathaniel Hack at coach. All right, let's go to Joe Shad. Let's get into some hijinks with Joe Shad right now.
Dolphins fans, it's time to talk to the man with incredibly high standards. It's not easy to score an A or grade 10 out of 10 with this guy. In fact, he isn't impressed with Joey Chestnut's dominance, Usain Bolt's speed, or even Evan Ginkel's locks. Will the hijinks continue? Can the Miami Dolphins do the impossible by getting a passing grade with Joe Shad? It's time for the Hijinks Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report. This report is brought to you by Hijinks Sports Grill in Boca at 133 Southeast Meisner Boulevard. Enjoy happy hour 4 to 7 p.m. Reserve a VIP table online and receive 1 free sparkling wine. Follow them on Instagram at Hijinks Sports Grill. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Joe Shad.
There he is. How do you like that open? Huh?
I love it, Big O. Very well done. 10 out of 10.
Whoa! Whoa! Wow, Sean, did you record that? You and I just got a 10, bro. From Joe Shad.
That will be clipped.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Oh, man. Thank you, Joe. I don't even know how I'm going to do the rest of this this entire segment here. Holy moly. Thank you. I'm flattered.
Very impressive. Good job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We put some work into it, as always. That's what we do on the we work on this platform. That's for damn sure. Anyway, my friend, how you feeling? You feeling better?
Yeah, I actually just met with the eye surgeon and got some positive news on the right eye and the left eye. So, you know, it's kind of like the Dolphins. They try to get good news from right tackle and left tackle. You know, we'll see how Austin Jackson's injury turns out. Hopefully it's not too bad, but Greg Little looked okay, and Robert Hunt can play there if necessary. And got a little scare when Teron Armstead, the left tackle, went out.
Yeah,
but I think he'll be okay. So we got to get at least 12 games out of Teron Armstead this year. 12 games out of Teron Armstead, 12 games out of Joe Shad, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, definitely. We'll get more out of Joe Shad than we'll get a playoff performance out of Joe Shad. You know, I was telling, and Joe, I've been like this throughout the offseason because maybe I'm a little bit more positive on the Dolphins this year. I'm not that I wasn't concerned about the New England game at all, and I was right. And I'm really not concerned this week either. I think they're going to drill blitz the crap out of this kid, and they're going to frustrate him. But I watched the Bengals and the Steelers game, and I got to tell you, it's what I thought. Miami really has an opportunity to win 3 out of the 4 games that everybody's talking about. That is, hell and back or whatever. I only see as Buffalo as the only team that they're not in the same class.
Yeah, Buffalo is on a different level for sure. But I agree. The Dolphins have a chance against Cincinnati. They certainly have a chance against Baltimore, 3.5-point underdogs at this time. Remember, for many years, Baltimore had the Dolphins number. They out-physicaled them, and they destroyed them with the tight ends year after year after year. Now, the Dolphins' defense is very, very sound. You have to feel good about what Josh Boyer threw out there in the first game. Cater Cahu, I think he'll be fine this week. You got a little bit more of a concern, about the Jamar Chases of the world and the Stephon Diggses of the world. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
And by the way, every year now, right, Joe? After Nick Needham, Trill Williams was on his way, and now Cater Cahu. It's like next year you got to okay, which are the undrafted corners they got? Who's the guy? Who's the guy? Which is the guy? Because it seems like every year now they're going to try to find some under the radar DB somewhere in college football. It's pretty interesting how that's developed 3 years in a row.
And the Dolphins were rewarded by not rolling the first rounder Noah Igbenogany out there just because of his first round pedigree. Credit to Mike McDaniel, credit to Josh Boyer, credit to Sam Madison and Pat Surtain. You play the guys who practice the best. Kohu showed up on Sunday just like he did in practice, just like we saw Nick Needham do it. And if and when Byron Jones returns, at some point, you get a little bit of a nice competition between Needham and Kohu.
Yes. I'm with you there. And listen, kudos to them also in this. They gave Needham, they gave Noah every fair opportunity, more than fair opportunity to win a job and take over as a starter, as a complimentary player, as a second stringer, whatever. That's the other thing. He can't sit there and whine like Preston Williams did. He got every opportunity to play, and they had every opportunity to say, are you ready or are you not? And credit to them that they said, you know what? You're not ready, kid. I'm sorry. We're going to play the best player, and you're not it.
And if it wasn't totally pointless to cut Noah Igbenogany from a salary cap perspective, and I hate to pile on, he's a nice kid and a great athlete. It he just hasn't come together for him, unfortunately. Right. And I hope that at some point he does prove to be a capable NFL corner. We should not discard the possibility. He's only 22 years old. But you know what? The Dolphins are in win now mode, and Texas A&M Commerce, Ivory Coast's Cater Kohu gives the Dolphins a better chance to win right now.
Yeah, he's such an impressive young man. That one is it's you really root for a kid like that, because it's a miracle for him just to get out of his country, and then now that he has an opportunity to live the American dream, here's a kid that has taken the bull by the horns and is just really. I mean, Joe, you play 17 snaps. And you make an impact like if you played 80 snaps, dude.
3 plays.
Yeah.
Force fumble, key pass breakup, tackle for loss.
Super athletic pass breakup, because, you talk about Mark Andrews this week. Well, if you got to deal with some tight ends and Eric Rowe is not as healthy, well, Cater Kohu, what he did with Hunter Henry, dude, that's big boy play right there, because you're half the size of Hunter Henry, and you're up there knocking the ball out of his hands. Dude, that was super impressive on his part. Loved what I saw there. What'd you think of Tua overall? Joe, did we lose him? I think he's frozen a little bit in time. Joe? Yep, this is the beauty of live. These kind of things happen. We will try to get in contact with Joe again to try to finish it. That was a hell of an open by you, Sean. That was a great job. Great job. Great job putting it all together. So that was good. That was good. That was a lot of fun. You there? Joe? By the way, go to hijinkssportsgrill.com. Go check it out. A lot of their ladies that work there are tied with the Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. So it is there's a beautiful atmosphere to Hijinks in Boca. So go check out Hijinks Sports Grill in Boca, and go to the website. Check them out on social media. Go to the Instagram page. Go to the Instagram page. Go to the Instagram page. Just saying. I'm just saying. I rarely mislead you all out there. Let's see. What else do we have? Joe Shad finally saw the light with Tua, and it blinded him. Oh, man. Let's see. Big O, I hope Azukama plays this week. We'll see. I'm good as long as they win, my brother. I am good. DJ Gallagher says, oh, my God, that's a hell of an intro. Chase Barrett was laughing. Eddie Lepp was laughing. 6193 was laughing. Nick loved it. Hold, let me put on my tie and jacket for this. The world is ending, put DJ Gallagher. Yeah, on the 10 for 10. Hell has frozen over. Joe Shad gave a 10 for 10. A miracle. Lenny Pena. Is Joe Shad driving with limited? No, it's his wife driving. Okay. It's not Joe Shad. Joe Shad is not driving and talking to us with one eye. No, he's got, although the other eye I think is unpatched now, and I think it's kind of he's almost there. He's almost there. He'll be on camera soon. Okay. But yeah, that was good. By the way, let me where do you have it? I want to play one more time. The Joe Shad intro. Where is it?
Dolphins fans, it's time to talk to the man with incredibly high standards. It's not easy to score an A or grade 10 out of 10 with this guy. In fact, he isn't impressed with Joey Chestnut's dominance, Usain Bolt's speed, or even Evan Ginkel's locks. Will the hijinks continue? Can the Miami Dolphins do the impossible by getting a passing grade with Joe Shad? It's time for the Hijinks Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report. This report is brought to you by Hijinks Sports Grill in Boca at 133 Southeast Meisner Boulevard. Enjoy happy hour 4 to 7 p.m. Reserve a VIP table online and receive one free sparkling wine. Follow them on Instagram at Hijinks Sports Grill. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Joe Shad.
It's good. That was good. That was good. That came out well. Oh, he's back. I think we're going to get him back on. I think he's back. He's home now. So now he's got a better reception. So we're going to bring him aboard here to finish it off. We just replayed your open again because it was so good. So I had not seen the finished product. I wrote it, and then obviously it takes the master Sean to put it all together. And he did a marvelous job of putting it all together. Awesome job, Sean. You're the best. You're awesome. Oh, you good?
I am home. I am home.
All right. So Tua, what do you got to do this week? He gets some good news because Kyle Fuller is out for the year with an ACL, so that's a huge loss for the Ravens. If you're the Dolphins, how are you attacking the Ravens?
I really haven't studied the Ravens defense. I'm going to be honest with you. I think in general, Tua Tagovailoa, needs to listen to his head coach, Mike McDaniel, and, clean up a few of the plays that, he could have done better in the last game. In watching the game again, Big O, I saw, and you saw, probably 3 throws in particular that Tua, really could have done a better job on the throws. Yep. And then a couple of decisions. And so you really say, okay, take away 5 plays where Tua really could have done a better job. And Tua will tell you that, and Mike McDaniel will tell you that. And that's what's going to separate in the end Tua Tagovailoa from being a good quarterback to being a very good quarterback. Yeah. And so, I hope it happens. I mean, he's going to put up good statistics this season. The team is going to win their share of games. The thing that's going to determine really whether the Dolphins have a good season or a very good season is simply the development of the quarterback. We need to see the continued development, the improvement, not just with the arm and the throws, but also the decision making.
Yeah, and, he did throw the kill shot this week. Okay, you made the call. Good play. You made the call on 4th and 7. You needed him to come through with a really clutch play. And it was a great call by the coach. It was a great throw by Tua. And it was a great play by Waddle to break the tackles and take it to the house. So in the end, I know he made a couple mistakes. He had a couple brain farts that none of us are happy with. He's got to What Tua has to learn is when the play is dead, die. Just die, bro. Don't fight it. You're not the guy to be fighting people off and tackles and all that stuff and have people draped on you and you can throw a 20-yarder. The one he took a hit on that was almost intercepted, he's not Mr. Flick. You notice that, right? He just tried to flick it. You can't flick. You're not the flick guy. You're not the guy that's 6'5" with a cannon arm that you can flick a 20-yarder and it's a strike. Some guys can do that. Matthew Stafford can do it off balance. Herbert can do it. Cam Newton can do it. You know, certain guys that are strong and big, they can do those kind of things. He has to have a reality of who he is. This is why Drew Brees was great. This is why Bob Greasy was great. This is why Joe Montana was great. This is why Fran Tarkenton was great. I've seen this quarterback over and over again. He's that same quarterback. None of those guys were flicking passes. None of those guys had 2 or 3 guys draped over him and throwing 30-yard strikes. All of those guys knew who they were. They played within space. They threw the smart pass, and they fought for the next play. Do not fight the play. The play is over. Fall to the ground. This is why he got injured in Alabama, because he would try to hang on to plays and he would take shots that are unnecessary. And in the ball that almost got intercepted, he took an unnecessary shot and also it almost got intercepted. He has to learn to throw away the ball.
And it's not just, look, just to be honest, his interception total should have been higher in recent years. For some reason, opponents have dropped a lot of potential interceptions.
That's every quarterback, Joe. Russell Wilson should have thrown an interception yesterday, and they dropped it. Every quarterback in every game practically almost throws an interception. If you want, just go back and look at it. Every quarterback.
Well, there's been some research that shows that Tua, for whatever reason, has been among the league leaders in interceptions dropped. But separate from that, Tua Tagovailoa cannot be among the league leaders in fumbles by quarterbacks.
Right.
And this is a concern. Ball security, he needs to protect the football when he's under pressure, when he's being attacked, when he's being assaulted, when he's being dragged down by one guy down low, another guy's coming up. He's got to protect the football.
Yeah, no. David Craig had that problem. What's it called? Kyler Murray is
Josh Allen fumbles.
Josh Allen has,
but Josh Allen's a different deal because he's going to run 40 yards.
Right. He's an animal. He's taking on contact, so that's why it happens to him. You're right.
But you asked about attacking. You asked about
in that one, but there are guys that over the years they've had that issue. That Cam Newton fumbles a lot. But again, he's also a contact guy, so that's a little different. But yeah, no, that's something that you've got to definitely clear up overall. But this is where that was the beauty of Marino. Marino knew when the play was dying, he happily got rid of it, and that's the one thing that he's got to clean up in his game. He's got to learn when the play is over, bro. Let it go. Live for another day. And don't hang on, because then you hang on and you turn it over, you fumble it, or you take an unnecessary hit. And you don't have the body to be taking unnecessary hits.
You asked about attacking the Ravens defense without even studying the tape. I'm sure that they are violent, physical, and will get after the quarterback and stop the run. I mean, that's just the MO for the Ravens defense. What I like about the Dolphins offense is the versatility of weapons and the creativity of head coach Mike McDaniel. If they study the tape and they say, you know what, the Ravens look vulnerable against pass-catching tight ends. Well, you know what? Mike Gesicki had 1 target last week, but maybe this week he has 6.
Yeah, that's right.
So, maybe Raheem Mostert gets a little more involved. Maybe Cedric Wilson gets a little more involved. I really like the number of weapons that the Dolphins have. You saw in the first game, Mike McDaniel said, hey, this is a good week to get Alec Ingold involved in the passing game as well as so I think it's going to be a much more strategic, much more thoughtful, much more calculating offensive approach.
I'm with you there. What did you go back and look at the tape? What did you think of Little's play after he took over for Austin Jackson?
I didn't do a tape don't lie this week. I just didn't feel up for it yet, but I did watch the game again, and I think Little is fine. I think he's an average third NFL swing tackle. He's certainly better than some of the guys the Dolphins have had to run out there in the past, Julian Davenports of the world. Look, I love Jesse Davis as a guy, but Little is better than Jesse Davis at tackle. I loved Sam Young as a guy. Coral Springs his own, but Little is better than Sam Young. So you know what? He's fine. And even when they had to push Robert Hunt over to right tackle, and I think throw Robert Jones in their guard, the Dolphins have decent depth. Their offensive line play was much better. Not perfect. All right. Eichenberg, not great. Austin Jackson, a couple of plays, not great. All right. But Connor Williams kicked butt.
Yeah, he can
Teron
block.
Armstead is
Dude,
the consummate professional.
No, but Connor Williams mauls people, bro.
He is, if he can get the snapping down, he could be a Pro Bowl center.
Yes, and I think that's what they saw. And by the way, it's not like the snaps are going all over the place. He had, I think, one maybe that was a little high.
First snap of the game.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, dude, by the way, and again, this is kind of the thing that we talked about with interceptions. Go look at a center in every game. There's going to be one or two that he snaps it low to the quarterback and he's got to adjust quickly, or a little high or a little to the right or left. That even happens with experienced centers. But as long as he's not snapping holy rollers or going way over the head and losing 10, 15 yards or creating a turnover, I'm good, man. He's done a really good job considering it's a really tough move, Joe. And he really hasn't had the sporadic snaps that cause turnovers. You know what I'm saying?
I trust offensive coordinator Frank Smith and offensive line coach Matt Applebaum to make the right decisions here on who belongs where. And you know what? They think Connor Williams is going to kick butt at center, and in the first game he did.
Yeah. I got to tell you something. I think Dieter's about to break out. I think if somebody gives him a shot again at guard, he's not going to lose the job again. And I think if Eichenberg slips up, because I think he's kind of the weak link right now out of those five, I think Dieter's ready to go. I really do. I think Dieter is the guy that's ready at the, he's in that, fourth year now? I think he's in that year where he's kind of matured and seen everything and comfortable. I think they even have some depth. And by the way,
I think this Robert Jones cat can be good.
Yeah, and by the way, that's the other thing that developed in this game. The fact that you had flexibility with different players that could pop in from one position to another, that was extremely important in that game on Sunday. We don't talk enough about that there was a lot of, while you have 8 guys, there was a lot of versatility in those 8 guys because your guards could play tackle, and then you had other guys that could come off the bench and play the guard positions. So I thought that was pretty cool. Plus, you had a Greg Little who could come off and be the third tackle. So
Tua Tagovailoa had more time to throw, and that is a key. We're going to see that be a trend and be a pattern throughout this season. He's going to have more time to throw.
Yeah, they just got to get the run game going. If they can get the run game going, and really, Joe, you won't see McDaniel's real offense unless they run the ball. That was the other thing. You made McDaniel's job harder and Tua's job harder because they did not run the ball. So until they become a threat there, you're not really going to see the full McDaniel playbook without that running game.
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to move in unison, like what is that called? How do you say that? Marionette? How do you say it?
Marionette,
yeah, where they all move together in unison at the same, and that takes a little time to get that, especially because they haven't necessarily all played together. Right. Armstead sat out a lot. He's just so good. He's like Tunsil, but a veteran.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you there.
Changes
all right.
everything.
Follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. And Shad, tell them about Little Hijinks Sports Grill, buddy. Why is it that you love that place?
It's my favorite bar restaurant in the area. My favorite place for wings in Palm Beach County, and they employ a lot of the current and former Miami Dolphins cheerleaders. So great staff and great food and a good scene. And anybody who hasn't been over there to Boca Raton Hijinks Sports Bar and Grill should definitely check it out.
You got to check it out. Check it out. Go to the IG page for Hijinks. You will see what Joe is talking about, the beauty of the bar. Okay, so check it out, hijinksportsgrill.com. Go check it out and tell them that Joe Shad sent you. All right. Joe, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up later on in the week. Hope you feel better, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. Good to talk to you.
You got it. There you go. We are done with Joe Shad's Hijinks.
This has been the Hijinks Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Joe Shad. This report is brought to you by Hijinks Sports Grill in Boca at 133 Southeast Meisner Boulevard. Enjoy happy hour from 4 to 7 p.m. Reserve a VIP table online and receive one free sparkling wine. Follow them on Instagram at Hijinks Sports Grill.
All right. There we go. Jeff Peterson says, good morning, and thank you for the info about the Dolphins. Thank you, sir, for tuning in and supporting us and smashing the like button. Hit that notification bell. Visit our great people at EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. And we're talking about major home construction and remodeling, not a handyman, fully insured. All right, make sure you hire somebody that is licensed and insured, because if they're not, it could cost you a lot of money. So if you're looking at a second floor, you're adding an extra room, you want to redesign the entire kitchen, you want to redo the backyard, I don't know, you want to build a tiki hut, you want to build some kind of a shed, or you want to have a full kitchen and barbecue, all that kind of stuff, he can do it all for you, man. So call EJD Construction, 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843. Call Eric and tell him that Big O sent you. They will definitely take care of you. All right, what else do we have here? Tua will have to play conservative and focus on moving the chains. It's a better game plan. 7 plays getting 50 yards is more taxing on an upcoming D than 1 playing getting 50 yards. Nerdsworth Poindexter, which is an interesting name. You can't determine how somebody's going to play. Kyle Fuller's out. So what are you going to do if Waddle's streaking down the field, 25, 30 yards down the field, and he's open? You hit him. So you have no idea what you're going to do. You weren't able to run last week. Not sure if you're going to run this week. You might have to pass. And you score however you can score. On 1 play, on 6 plays, or on 16 plays. It doesn't matter. You find a way to score. You find a way to control the ball. And the most important thing, it's really not about how you score, fast or slow or anything like that. I'll tell you what the key is with the Baltimore Ravens. Take the lead. Remember what I was tweeting during the Patriots game? That they came out in that second half and they had that long drive, right? And what did I tell you guys at that moment? They let the Patriots have easy first and second downs. And they got chunk yardage on that first and second down. So third downs, when they had them, they were really short. In the first half, they kept the Patriots on 3rd and long, and that stifled that offense and Mac Jones. And then in the second half, after that big drive to start off the second half, they then started to shut them down and force them again to 3rd and longs, and that's when their offense bogged down. Well, you want to bog down the Ravens offense? Take a lead. Take the running game out and force him to become a passer, something that he can't be against a good team, of course, not the Jets, not the Dolphins of 2019. Anyway, so whatever. But, so that's what's going to happen. You need to take a 10, 14-point lead on the Ravens, and that's when their offense is done because they don't have an offense to play catch-up. They don't have a quarterback that can play catch-up. So that, my friends, is the key. Not about scoring fast, not about scoring slow, none of that. You score and make sure you stop them a couple times and force them into a lead and take them out of their comfort zone. And you take them out of their comfort zone, and they're done. That's why they always fail in the playoffs. Because in the playoffs, you then play elite defenses. And then the elite defenses shut you down and force the quarterback to beat you, something Lamar Jackson cannot do because he cannot read and react with defenses fast enough. He's athletic, strong enough, got a whip of an arm, but he can throw to the obvious open person. He has no anticipatory skills. He has no ball placement skills. That's just not who he is. He's not a touch passer. Now, will he make some throws at times that will wow you? Of course. All athletes do that. Every athlete I've ever met in my life, from the days I went to Arbondale Elementary and we were playing at the park. Okay? You had the one guy that could play quarterback, and then you had the other guy that was really athletic, can throw the hell out of the ball, but not really know where it's going all the time. But there are those days where the athlete comes in and he's red hot. You know, I saw Michael Vick once come into the Dolphin Stadium and throw for like 300 and something yards, and Sean Jefferson caught this like 51-yard bomb that he threw running one way and throwing opposite. He was on target. He hit everything in stride that day. Not something that he normally could do, but that day he was on target for the Falcons. Why? Because he's a sensational athlete. And athletes can freak you out and do things at times that most of us can't do. But can they be a quarterback on a consistent basis? No. And that's the difference. That's the problem with some of you. You get enamored with somebody that has great talent, but you're not exactly sure, is he a great quarterback? And that's the part that sometimes some of these great passers have to prove that they can be great quarterbacks. And then these great athletes have to prove they can be great passers and great quarterbacks. And that becomes a challenge. And that's the problem with some people. They can't decipher the difference between what an athlete is and what a real quarterback is. Make that young man beat you with his arm on a consistent basis, and you will beat down Lamar Jackson pretty much every time. You just got to hope that one or two times every 10 times you face him, he doesn't come in that he happens to be hot that day and he'll hit a few passes. It'll be rare, but it'll happen. Let's just hope it's not this Sunday. Big O, are you worried about Tua's tendency for hero ball against Buffalo? I'm scared. I'm scared of that for everybody, for Tua. Tua's got to learn, and that's part of the growing pains. That's all. He will learn eventually to let that go and stop the hero ball shit. You're falling, Bruno. Don't pass. They're on top of you. Don't pass. Just go down. Or better yet, if you're seeing the pressure coming, if you can see it coming, just get rid of it, dude. He had one where he rolled out and he waited to throw it away when he almost got to the sidelines. And the defender got to him and tapped him a little bit. And it's like, why even get that, dude? Do you know you can trip, hurt your ankle, knee, whatever, your hip, just on a small hit? Why take the hit? You're already rolling. The play's dead. Let it fly. No, I'm going to hang on to the end, and I still get pushed by the defender. I saw that play, and I was pissed. I was like, come on, kid. You don't have the body of Cam Newton, my man. You're not Ben Roethlisberger. You just cannot take a bunch of hits. There's no reason to take hits. Don't take them. That's what Steve Young was for many years a lot more than actually Tua. He settled for the run too much. He took on contact. And it took him years until Bill Walsh finally reached him and said, you got to stop with this shit. You need to beat people from the pocket. I want you to run behind the line of scrimmage to buy yourself a little time. But when the play is over, it's over. And the last couple of years, as he continued to suffer concussions, he finally stopped. He started running less and playing the quarterback position more. Now, Tua is not a running quarterback, but he still has that hero ball in him like a lot of quarterbacks do. But some quarterbacks are built a lot bigger than Tua, and they can hang on a little bit more to that kind of stuff. They shouldn't, but they can at least. Tua does not have that luxury. So he just has to learn to get rid of the ball. He has to learn when the play is over, it's over. Let it go. He cleans up a couple of those things, and that's it. It's over. It's fine. Nobody complains about it. Well, some of you will complain no matter what. But these are little things he's got to fix. They're not big things. He's not constantly making stupid decisions. He's not constantly throwing into double teams. He's not constantly turning over the football. He just has to get that hero shit out of him at times. And he has to learn exactly when to hold them and when to fold them, as Kenny Rogers would say, right? Or did he say it was the wood that made it good? I'm not exactly sure. Which one is it? Hold them and fold them, or the wood makes it good? Or both? 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Are you looking to learn a second language? I know you tried in high school, tried in college, but it probably didn't stick with you, and they were kind of boring, right? Hey, un lápiz. Like, we're not ever going to ask for a pencil. I mean, come on. What is this? ¿Dónde está la guagua? Not the gas station, the bus. Get out of here. You want to learn Spanish the right way, German, French, Italian, you got to go to Babbel, baby. Babbel. Yes, sir. It is the language learning app that has sold more than 10 million subscriptions. They're addictively fun and an easy way to learn a new language. And whether you're traveling abroad, connecting in a deeper way with family, or you just have some free time, Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you can actually use in the real world. And these are 15-minute lesson plans, and they make it a perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Maybe you're power walking, maybe you're jogging, maybe you're playing a little pickleball, maybe you're just relaxing in the sun. Whatever it is, you can be learning a new language. Other language apps, they use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel's lessons were created by over 100 language experts. That is awesome. Their teaching methods have been scientifically proven to be effective, and with Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages like German, Italian, Spanish, French. They've got it there for you. Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and your accent. There's so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to the lessons, you can also access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to Babbel.com/Big O. That's Babbel.com/Big O for 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Isn't it a beautiful thing to have a little language for life? I love it. Love it. Learn a little language, baby. Yes, sir. All right. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, that's 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Chris Capuano, Perfect Q Truth. I don't know what that means, but or you're talking about somebody named Perfect Q, I guess. It is perfect. There we go. Hey, what happened to what was this guy? What's this guy's name or woman? Was it The Good Life or the Greater Good? I don't see the Greater Good anymore on the chat board. What happened to the great? Does anybody know? Is he all right? He or she living? Still with us? Did you block him, Sean, or something? I doubt it. Greater Good was actually good for us, but I guess.
He was on there, or they were on there a few days ago, but it hasn't been on as much.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Greater Good. That's a name that stuck with me because I always used to see it on the chat board, and it's been kind of gone from the chat. I don't think I've seen it in the last week and a half or something. Oh, wait a minute.
There. He's in the stream.
He is?
Yeah, 5 likes to 180. 1249.
Okay. All right.
He's just not as active, I guess. Maybe he's just.
There he is. There he is. Okay. I guess he hasn't been that active. Okay, it's good to know you're there. Okay. It's kind of weird when you see some of the folks that you normally see on the chat boards, and then these names stick with you. You know what I'm saying? Like Hank Goldberg's left nut. I haven't seen him in a while. You know? The C-Man is in the house. He's a new daddy. Congratulate the C-Man. Brand new addition to the family. So he hasn't slept in a couple days. Congratulations, Chad. Good stuff, my brother. Good to see everybody happy and healthy. Nothing better than that. Great experience, too, to watch that happen. I love it. Let's see what else. At least we don't have Dak Prescott's $200 million cap hit to sit on the bench every year. Yeah, that's a bad one. I feel like the Vikings can be a sleeper Super Bowl team this year. I just have a hard time believing in Kirk Cousins. That's my problem, my brother. When we get to the playoffs, you're going to tell me that Kirk Cousins is going to lift you over the top. I don't know. Let's see. What else do we have going on in los world of deportes? Big O Barcelona or Bayern today? Bro, I'm a Barcelona guy. I don't go against Barcelona for nothing. You can't ask me that question. Arsenal, Barcelona, and Inter Miami. Those are my 3 clubs. Okay? Those are the 3 that I root for. And obviously, USA and Spain, national teams. USA first, Spain second, because that's, obviously those are the origins of Al Suaray. We are people from the mountains, Lovacos. So, I'm a Spain guy. Eventually and initially, originally, all that good stuff, even though I was born in Belgrade, Florida. But, the origins of my family are from Spain. So I'm a Barcelona guy, and I do root for the Spain national team after the USA, of course. First USA, and then if USA is out, then Spain, then there you go. But, I'm always going to go Barcelona, my brother. Always. Are you kidding me? I don't go against Inter Miami. I don't go against the Arsenal, and I don't go against Barcelona. Ever. Shaking my head, Big O. All about Chelsea and Madrid. Okay. All right. Big O, I saw Phillies dropping into coverage. Phillips, you mean? Wish they would. Yeah, we talked about that already. I don't like it either. But I guess they're still trying to teach him that so he can be versatile. And, but yeah, I'm not a fan either, my friend, of that. He's not there yet. But then again, Omar and I went back and forth on Brandon Jones. Oh, he can't cover. And I'm like, well, he's young. He's learning. Give him a chance to grow. And look this week. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say, well, Brandon, I can't put you in coverage. So you have to somehow or another, whether I know he's not effective yet in it, but he needs to continue to get some reps in it so he doesn't become a weakness. And the only way You're going to build a strength in his game is by giving him reps by doing it. So how do you trial by fire, my friend? So I understand what the coaches are saying and trying to accomplish with the player. And I understand what you're saying because I feel it too. I don't like seeing Phillips in coverage because he's not very good yet in coverage. But that doesn't mean he's so athletic and he's a smart guy and he's a hard worker. Maybe he'll figure it out. But maybe it'll take him a little bit because this is the NFL now. He didn't have to do that in college. They didn't demand it from him. So this is something, an instinct he has to develop and something he has to expand his game with. So in a game-like situation, he has to kind of be thinking about that too. Because if you try to hide him the entire time as a pass rusher and then they try to also expose him, that's not good. That's not good either. So I think it's a little catch-22 there. You know what I mean? And I haven't heard from Omar, by the way, on Brandon Jones. Picking on my guy Brandon Jones that he can't do this and he can't cover and all that. And he's not a ball hawk. That was the other thing. Omar told me that Brandon can't cover and that he's not a ball hawk. And, you know, okay, the can't cover stuff. Okay, I get it. He's got to get better at that. But he did this week. But the ball hawk stuff, I got a problem with that. I had a problem with that when he mentioned it. And I still have a problem with that to this day. Brandon Jones is a ball hawk. There's no doubt about that in my mind whatsoever. Big O, when you got turf, do your dogs still do number one on the turf, or do you? Well, I tell you what, on Cutter's, what I love about what Cutter's Edge did for us, and this was an idea that they gave me because of my dogs, and they have dogs too, so they use it. And here's not only do they of course they do 1 and 2 on it, okay, but here's the best part about it. I don't know about you guys, but my big girl Maiden, when she would do number 2 or even number 1, dude, she'd kick up so much grass and dirt. You can't stand behind Maiden when she goes to the bathroom, because I swear to you, dude, you're like standing behind a car that is spitting up mud, just turning wheels and spitting up mud and all, getting hit by it. That's exactly what would happen with my dog. Now, the turf, because it's not necessarily grass and it's not the same feel, she doesn't do it anymore. So that's actually really cool. Okay. And to me, I love having the artificial turf. Listen, we have 5 dogs. And so in the backyard, they would do a dump and we scoop it up and put it in a container, right? And then, you know, we throw out, it has a bag in it, and then we throw it out every couple of days. We can't leave, you know, some people are like my buddy goes, dude, why are you picking this up? And I go, because they run around all over the place and then they might land on it. And they have. You know, early on, we kind of learned that, hey, you can't leave too many of these turds around because the idiots are chasing each other, tackling each other, and then they end up tackling themselves into a turd. You know what I'm saying? So we would pick up the turd. So it's the same thing. Now it's easier to pick up the turd because it kind of like floats above the artificial turf, right? And then all you do is rinse it a little bit. That's it. And it's gone. It's awesome. So you pick it up, boom, put it away and rinse, and it's all gone. And it filters out, and it's got this sand and rocks on the bottom that help for it to filter all out. The thing that Cutter's Edge does, and I don't believe every company does this, they go to the root. They go all the way to the bottom, and they clear out everything, every weed, everything. So nothing grows, and it's all, you know, fresh. And I'm telling you, whether it's the detail to it, and a lot of people in my neighborhood saw it because obviously I have a hole in the side of my wall in my house that we're about to fix, thank the Lord. And so they saw the progress of it. But that's one of the things. You guys can call a lot of landscaping places. They will not do the job that these guys do. They're not going to do it the right way, so it looks great for years to come. So whether it's tree trimming, like it says there, landscape design, outdoor lighting, irrigation design and build, and synthetic turf. I swear by the synthetic turf. Man, it is awesome. And they add this little sand to it that cools down the turf for the doggies too, on top of all of that, which is super, super awesome. So check it out and give the folks call Will or Mike and tell them that Big O sent you. 954-477-0622. That's 954-472, I'm sorry, 0622. 472-0622. So there you go. So yes, great stuff. Let me see. What else do we have? Big O, I see you at Duffy's in 57th Avenue. That would be a perfect spot. Love that place. I've been to that Duffy's many times over the years. I like that place. It's a good place. That's a classic Duffy's, that one on 57th Avenue. That one's been there forever. That was Dennis Erickson's spot. Yeah. He was there all the time. Big O, would you ever bring that up to a coach or to Boyer? Why are you playing Phillips in coverage instead of just letting the beast in rushing? Well, I could bring it up, but I think I answered the question that you got to try to make your player as complete as possible, because you don't want too many weaknesses out there getting exposed. So that's why I would tell you that no, I would bring it up after constant failure under this coach now, under this coaching staff and the way they're doing it. Last year, he's a rookie, so I can't hold it against him. But 8-10 games from now, if he's still looking really bad in it where you shouldn't be playing him, then that's when I bring it up. But right now, he's only in his second year. I can't pick on a young man that is still developing. That's the problem I have with Omar sometimes. As much as I love Omar, it frustrates the crap out of me that sometimes he doesn't have patience with young people. He did that to me with Jay Ajayi. Jay Ajayi was injured his rookie year, and he got healthy towards the end of the season. And the final month, he had a couple of really interesting games. And he looked good, actually. And I remember talking to Omar after the season was over. He's not an every down back. And I'm like, Omar, he looked good in the last couple games, but it's only his rookie year. You got to give the kid a chance. And sure enough, the following year, he went on to rush for 1,200 yards. And he proved that he was an every down back, at least for I know he had the one knee that was eventually so many scouts that year in the combine told me he's a one contract guy. It's going to be hard to give him a second contract. That knee is so bad. Guys told me that over and over again about Ajayi. They all loved him as a runner, but they just didn't think he had a long shelf life. And they were right about that. That's why nobody ever really gave him that big contract. But he did prove that he could come back. And Omar's done that to me a couple times. He's done it with Brandon Jones. Oh, no, he can't cover. It's like, well, wait a minute, dude. The kid's still a baby and growing in this league. He can grow and become a better player. And there you go. You saw a nice play in the passing game this past week, which is we all know he's a hell of a blitzer. We all know he'll hit the hell out of you. He'll knock your pecker in your sock. I mean, this guy will rock you, bro. Okay? I mean, he's got a knack for all of that. And the one thing that he has to improve on is the passing. Okay? But you can't just give up on people right away. And that's what I feel. We can't do that to Phillips either. He had a hell of a year as a pass rusher. Okay, is that all he's going to be? Or can he also use his athleticism? Because look at that athleticism. Find a way to be better in coverage. You see what I'm saying? So you got to give. Hey, Jason Taylor would get run on the first couple of years. So what do? Oh, no, JT, we're just going to use you on third downs to rush the passer. We can't use you on first and second downs because he can't stop the run. You're a little light on the ass, and they're running you over, which, by the way, that's exactly what they did the first couple of years on Jason. Jason did not become good against the run until his third year. His fourth year, he became a force against the run. His third year, he started to show the strength and everything that he needed to start to fend off the tackles, get to the running back, all those kind of things, the things he couldn't do the first couple of years. So do you give up on Jason Taylor, third-round pick out of Akron, or do you continue to develop him in the weight room, in the classroom, and reps? So Jalen Phillips is an outstanding athlete, i.e. Jason Taylor. We cannot, as a Dolphin nation, look at the guy and say, you'll never be able to cover again because you've only watched him for 1 year. No. Can't do that. You got to give the young man some time. You got to give him the reps. You got to give him the experience. You got to teach him in the classroom. And then, hopefully, with the reps and the opportunities, just like Brandon Jones this past week, he starts to show you that he can do it. That's why I told you, you got to give me some time to see it fail for a while, and then I'll say he clearly can't do it. That's it. But I think we lack patience. We lack so much patience with players. It's just unfair, man. Nature B is, for me, 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals, and powerful antioxidants. I've been telling you about Nature B for 20 years, folks. And let me tell you right now, you can buy 2 months. You get the third month for free. Use our code BIG-O, and you will also get free shipping. And listen, I tell you for 20 years now, I love that it boosts my immune system. I can fight off the colds all the time. It does give you energy. So in the afternoon when you're running out of energy, Nature B can help you out there. Sustained energy. And again, we tell you for the ladies out there, stronger nails, smoother skin, fuller hair. That's helped me, I guess. Been taking it for 20 years, folks. So go out there and check it out, man. Go to natureb.com. Check it out, why we've been taking it for so many years now. And it's all natural. It comes straight from Mother Earth in clean, green New Zealand. Not made in some lab or anything like that. It is all natural. Great for you. Great for the kids. Great for everybody. You know how good this is? Okay, not only is it potentiated, which means it will, your body will absorb it as quick as possible. But I want you to do this. Grab a vitamin, grab a pill, whatever that's in a capsule, break it, and then taste the powder. And you're, oh God, no wonder it's in a capsule. Do it with Nature B. It'll taste good. It won't taste bad. That's how good it is, because it's all natural plant pollen. The benefits of plant pollen are proven over time, and it can benefit your body in so many different ways, from digestion, creaky bones, you name it. natureb.com. Buy 2 months. You get the third month for free and free shipping, but you can only get it online. natureb.com. Use the code BIG-OW, and you'll get free shipping. All right. So Lamar Jackson is not happy that his contract negotiations went public. Did you hear about that? They are facing Lamar this week. Lamar is, he's a great young man. You can tell he's just a fantastic young man, right? But sometimes he can be a little naive. And in this case, he's incredibly naive. This is the NFL, dude. It's the most important league in this country. It's the sport that most people are dialed into. They want to find out every silly little thing about players. What they eat, what they drive, what they like to do, what video games, and certainly, are you signing your damn contract? That's on top of it. So Lamar Jackson is a little pissed that Chris Mortensen broke the story that the Ravens' latest contract offer got, turned down. The Ravens offered allegedly up to $290 million, but Lamar wasn't willing to accept it. The guarantees were at $133 million. So Morton says the report has the union's fingerprints all over it, in part because Mortensen specifically identified in one of his tweets union sources. In other words, someone from the union was talking per a source with knowledge of Jackson's mindset regarding the negotiations. He will be pissed. That's something that was said by someone with the Players Association. But what do you expect, dude? You're Lamar Jackson. You're like an enormous name in sports. Everybody's waiting to see what contract you sign because others sign some big ass deals and people are wondering, are you going to sign the same kind of deal? You think people aren't going to be snooping around? You think they're not going to expose what you're all about right now and what kind of a deal you're trying to make or not make? Come on, man. How naive can you be, Lamar? Get your deal done, bro. Get your guarantees already. You're already screwed up that you don't have an agent. Don't play this game that you can't play without, what's it called? The contact. Telling you, man. That to me is just absolutely odd. Absolutely odd. All right, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. All right. And TJ Watt injury. Yeah, I see Prescott could return in 4 to 6 weeks, which, rushing an injury-prone guy? Yeah, I don't think so. What else do we have? The reaction crew is in the house. The golf pro is here. Campos, Big O, these next 2 games really judge the season. If it's going to be a slow start like usual or take a leap and at least win 1 out of these next 2 games. I'm not that worried, bro. I'm not worried about this game this week. Didn't Ricky screw up his contract by hiring a rapper as a sports agent? Yes. Yes, he did. Yeah, his contract with Master P and the Saints was an incredibly stupid deal. They based it all on incentives that he thought he was easily going to meet, and he didn't. So Mike Martz apparently is blasting Trey Lance. Mike Martz is kind of. Anyway, he says Trey Lance, he's not a great passer, doesn't have good skills, takes him a long time to set himself and throw the football. He says, I want 49ers coaches' eyeballs here. I've never seen anything about this kid that was encouraging at all. March criticized Lance's throwing motion, his decision-making, his running ability, and adding that he has no idea what Lance is. He looked like a fullback stumbling around trying to run the ball, March said. He's not particularly a good guy running with the football, and based on what I saw today, I mean, he missed 2 guys completely by themselves. I know this, former coach says, he can only go up. He can only get better because you can't get any worse than what he did today. God, he went scorched earth on the guy. And on Justin Fields, he says the Chicago signal caller was less than remarkable in the win despite his 2 touchdowns. I don't know if I've ever seen such a bad performance by a quarterback in his opening performance of the season. He was just completely awful. Mike Martz, bro. I was told, allegedly, possibly, you never know, because I just say crazy stuff, right? Then there was a story out there that Mike Martz disappeared when he was a Lions coach for like 3 days. The head coach disappears for 3 days. They had no idea where he was. Oh, man. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? I can tell you a lot sometimes. Stuff that I know and heard. Anyway, it's a funny story. There's more to it, but Big O, pack your bags. Come up with us to Chicago. Do I need a bulletproof vest? I don't know if I want to go to Chicago. I don't know if I want to hang out in Chicago. Not necessarily the safest place out there, my brother. So be careful in Chicago. Because, man, you see a lot of bad stuff in that town. My Lord. Justice says, damn, Mike Martz, tell us how you really feel. Lori Lightfoot will welcome you with open arms. Yeah. Lori Lightfoot might get me shot is what might happen. Willie says, Tua will win a Super Bowl and grow a Hawaiian teja. Oh, now that's strong right there. If he gets the Hawaiian tejas, then we're talking. Although Joe Shad will not be impressed with the tejas, as we put in the open with Joe Shad, he's not even impressed with the tejas of Andrew Van Ginkel. Okay. I got to see that.
Dolphins fans, it's time to talk to the man with incredibly high standards. It's not easy to score an A or grade 10 out of 10 with this guy. In fact, he isn't impressed with Joey Chestnut's dominance, Usain Bolt's speed, or even Van Ginkel's locks. Will the hijinks continue? Can the Miami Dolphins do the impossible by getting a passing grade with Joe Shad? It's time for the Hijinks Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report. This report is brought to you by Hijinks Sports Grill in Boca at 133 Southeast Meisner Boulevard. Enjoy happy hour 4 to 7 p.m. Reserve a VIP table online and receive 1 free sparkling wine. Follow them on Instagram at Hijinks Sports Grill. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Joe Shad.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Sean, you're just awesome, dude. You're just the best. You are so awesome. CM Punk will be in Chicago as well. Okay, can I use him as a shield? Can I just walk behind him as I'm going everywhere in Chicago? That's what I'll do. CM, just stand in front of me. Got to get somebody to stand behind me. Lori Lightfoot. We'll get Lori to stand behind me. I'll get CM Punk in front of me, and then that way I'm kind of shielded the entire time. Okay? I think we can do that. Boy, that woman does a crappy-ass job in that town. That is the stuff that goes, say what you want about DeSantis, but, man, we don't have what goes on in California and what goes on in Washington and what goes on in Illinois and New York. Wow, we treat our cops like crap in New York. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing how we treat our police officers. I know that there's a couple of bad ones, but most of them are great. Most of them really serve our community. It's not right. We don't treat our teachers right. We don't treat our firemen, fire people, men or women, whatever. It's just people that work so hard and have these public jobs, man. It's a shame. It really is a shame. Especially what I've seen, how they've treated cops in New York. Unacceptable. Get Mostert more involved. Why not? I think that might happen. Remember, he's also coming back from an injury, so maybe they're also easing him in there. He had a nice run where he was able to shed a block and all that, and obviously Chase also. Chase was terrific, but yeah, I'm with you there. Let's see. The intro is awesome, Sean. Great job. That's right. Better thanks, Sean. He's a man overall. Always getting it done. What else do we have here? I don't think we have anything else to talk about pretty much. Let me see on the Welt and Rayom text line if I got any questions before we wrap it up here on the show. Big O, can Byron Jones practice while on the PUP list? I don't think he can practice with the team, but he can do stuff on the side on his own and have individual drills and things like that. But on the pup list, he's not playing on 7-on-7s and teams and in the game plans and all that, because since you're not playing, you're not going to take the time or the reps of somebody that needs to prepare for the game. So you're really working on the side, not with the team at that time. You could be with them on individuals and stretching and things like that. They might allow you to do that kind of stuff, but not the team stuff when you're getting prepared for a game and you're not part of the game plan at all. So it doesn't make any sense, my brother. So you can't do that. Big O, our center was the highest graded center in the whole NFL in week 1. People need to be patient. I think we really have a good staff this year. I you know what? I did not know that he was the highest graded center. He can block the hell out of people. I keep telling you that. He's fine blocking, and his snapping is fine. They're the one or two that, go a little bit off. It's not that bad. The quarterback can grab the ball, adjust, and make a damn, adjustment to it. We got some breaking news here. What do we have here? Not sports. Twitter shareholders vote in favor of Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover offer at a special shareholder meeting. In other words, they're going to take his ass and force him to buy Twitter. Yeah, you said you'd give us that money? Oh, hell yeah. Come on. Let's go. It's not worth that much, but you're going to give it to us. Let's see. Narrative shift. I just heard today from Andrew Siciliano of the NFL Network. He asked if wins are still considered a QB stat when referring to Tua, and his win over Belichick, amazing. Yeah. It's Tua's just measured and treated completely different, dude, than everybody else. What else do we have here? Have you seen a YouTube video of a very young Jimmy Page on BBC from April 6, 1957, well before he became popular? Fins up. No, but I'll check it out. That's Mick from Bismarck. Thank you, Mick. Appreciate you. Thank you as always. Let's see. Cater Kahu, undrafted CV, played well for the Dolphins. Yes, he did, Caesar. He played very well. Big O, we have plenty to talk about. The show must go on. Yeah, well, the voice must rest. Anyway, I am out of here. We shall see you guys tomorrow. Sean Stanley is the man, as always, mastering this program. We thank Cameron Wolf, Manny Navarro, Joe Shad, and Dr. Francisco Cedral. We thank all of you who called in, tuned in, chimed in, tuned in, sent in a tweet, also followed us, subscribed to the program, reached out to our sponsors. Please support our sponsors. That's how you're going to help us grow and keep this thing going and expand more and more programming, okay? We shall see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Tonight, Hurricanes Watch with Mike McCoy from 8 to 9 p.m. Lance Leggett will be joining him, all right? And look, the Seaman is going to be in. He's the new father is going to be running the show there with Mike McCoy tonight. So Miami Hurricanes Watch tonight, 8 to 9 o'clock on the platform. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when it's coming. Next week, you will get 2 hours because we'll have our State of Florida Gridiron Roundtable with Manny Navarro, with Ira Schofel, and with Kevin Brockaway. So Gators, Seminoles, and Canes talk for an hour, and then a whole hardcore hour of Canes talk with Mike McCoy. So you got more programming tonight from 7 to 8. I'll be at a concert tonight. I'm going to be enjoying a little Johnny Marr and the Killers, especially Johnny Marr. Cannot wait to see Johnny Marr. I'll see you all tomorrow. Love you. Same time, same place, same bat channel.